Hello. One of these days I'll remember to run the ads. Every time I start streaming. Never mind. Anyway, we're back with Stray Gods, which we played on Tuesday because honestly, just brain is not with it this week. So I enjoyed this, so I'm playing more. And yeah, so we're doing Act 2. I did all the blurb last stream, so, you know, if you're new to it all, you're coming in halfway through a story. Or partway through a story. Like Jesse, Sir Khalid, and Alkash are here, so hello and welcome. So yeah, we are the right button. Continuing in Act 2. Ooh, I will need the TV up. We have tea and we have cheesecake. Because it's been a shit week. You know. So, we have cheesecake. I will share a picture of my cheesecake in my Discord in case anyone wants to see it in all its glory. It is raspberry. Oh, you redeemed 2 things back to back. Oh! Well, I just saw the redeems. Congratulations on your extremely long watch streak. Right, I'm caught up then. I would have seen it when I went back to review the, you know, what happened on the stream thing at the end. So yeah, and reminder, just thanks to Ideal Xbox for this one. I hope I hit continue then. I think I did.
Hey, Freddy.
Hey.
Is everything okay?
Not really. I felt like crap after you left. I don't know why I acted like that. I just had this image of you being swept off into some new world without me.
You're apologizing. After I dumped the whole, hey, I'm a god thing on you, I'm the one who should be sorry.
No. I'm gonna cry.
Wait until after we figure out how to save my sorry life.
Right you are. Tell me what's happened since I saw you last. Huh. Persephone runs a club called the Underworld. That's a little on the nose.
I wouldn't suggest saying that to her face.
And you ended up staying with her instead of Apollo? I don't know, Grace. She sounds a little volatile.
Okay, we're good. So, nope, we're gonna have a drink. I accidentally inhaled some cheesecake dust. So, quick summary, Act 1. This is Grace. Grace is in a band with Frankie, who's the other person. She meets Calliope. She goes home. Then suddenly Calliope is at her door bleeding from some sort of wound. Calliope dies, and this glowy ball of yellow light pops out of Calliope and into Grace. And that's called an Eidolon, which just sounds like a Final Fantasy concept, but, you know, it's basically the essence of a god. Calliope was a muse. Grace is now a muse of music. So, yeah. And then, almost as suddenly, Hermes turns up and takes her to see the chorus, which is a group of 4 gods, including Athena, Apollo, Persephone, and Aphrodite. Athena is Felicia Day, voiced by Felicia Day. Apollo's voiced by Troy Baker. The other ones are voiced by other people, but I am so bad with names. Those are the only ones that stuck. There is a whole like cast thing on the website for Stray Gods, because it's called Stray Gods, the role-playing musical. And they basically accuse Grace of killing Calliope to get her godhood. Grace was like, I didn't. Can I prove it? And they went, yes, you have a week. Cool. Right. And then Pan shows up when she gets back, is in her kitchen with his horns and all. Because, you know, they said don't tell anyone about the god thing. And literally she gets home in her flat with Frankie and freaking Pan is there. So it's like, oh, well then we kind of have to tell Frankie because she can see the dude with the horns. So there's a whole thing with songs where you make decisions based on what we're going with. We're going with logic in this playthrough. We're going for an Ace Arrow, a Joe playthrough basically, and logic. The plot points are more or less the same, but how you play the story depends on what choices you make. It is one of those. It is one of those. So yeah, it's also really fun. I'm enjoying it. And I'm interested to see where it goes. We went to Calliope's home that was apparently belonged to Persephone, which is why we were then meant to see Persephone in the underworld. Apollo was at Calliope's home. He was brooding because yeah. And then we asked if he could help, and he was like, yeah, I can't really help. I will not help if I try and help type thing. And I'm like, dude, that's very vague, but I'm assuming you've had a prophecy and you're trying not to limit her fate. Yeah, and then we went up to his, and then the Oracle, who's actually a hacker called the Oracle, which is just so hilarious, because Apollo always has an Oracle. He's the god of prophecy and the sun. Sent us to the underworld because, yeah, Persephone. So that, and then we went to the underworld. We met Eros, who was giant beefcake man, and he introduced us to Persephone, who is kind of badass. Queen of the underworld, or ex-queen of the underworld. Not quite sure what's happened there. I know quite a lot about Greek mythology, not as much as like scholars and stuff, but I had a obsession with it for a little bit. I also have read a lot of Lore Olympus. So as soon as it popped up that the flat was the apartment that Calliope was in was owned by Core Industries, and I'm like, Core with a K. Funny, that's also Persephone's name. So yeah, it's quite fun. It's like you know them, but you kind of don't. So yeah, I'm gonna go with she's not so bad.
She's not so bad. At least with Persephone, you know exactly where you stand.
I guess. Wow, she just sounds so different from the myths about her.
And
so
we know
what are
about the
your
myths
options?
and
You
the
need to go back
gods.
to Persephone at some point?
I could go back to Apollo's as well. Make sure he's not sore about what happened.
Oh, and there's this. Pan left a card, says, come by Olympus. I doubt he means the mountain in Greece.
Oh yeah, the gods are now called idols. And they seem to have their, you know, they pass on. So like Hermes literally has been Hermes for a year. They pass on their powers per se when they die, which is weird because I thought gods were supposed to be immortal, but maybe this is just their essence is immortal. Hi, Ministry.
I just spoke to him at the underworld. If he wanted something, why didn't he just talk to me there?
Because he's creepy and wants to get you alone.
Still not a fan?
You know how some people just set your teeth on edge? That's Pan. I can't help it. But it doesn't
creepy.
matter. I said I'd help, and that's what I'll do. You can count on me, Grace.
Thanks, Freddy.
The muse? Oh, the embodiment of inspiration. Can you believe it?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay. I don't know. What do we get from Freddy? finally got back to the apartment after leaving the underworld, and of course Freddie was there waiting up for me. She felt really bad about how things went down with Pan. I guess I'll have to keep in mind that my song power draws things out of people, right? The good and the bad. I can't control which it is. At least it's nice to know that Fred's still on my side. Cool. Okay, so Apollo, Persephone, Pan. I mean, let's go talk to Pan. It's the Olympus anyway. May as well. So we're trying to find out who killed Calliope, and we have, like, no leads. Like, 0 leads.
I'd say hello, Grace, but I'm afraid that look on your face might be catching.
What is this place?
It's a garden, darling. Surely even mortals have them.
This building. All those people I passed getting up here. Are they all idols?
Oh, at least some of them. Welcome to Olympus, dear Grace. Our home hidden away in plain sight. Marvelous, isn't it?
I've passed this part of the city 100 times. I've never seen this building. Was it always here, or...?
Our Lady Hecate provides glamours that allow certain things to go unseen, such as my glorious horns. Olympus is the same. Those invited see it. Those who aren't see exactly what they expect. It's not anywhere as grand as in the old country, but it serves its purpose.
How many idols are there? I've met, what, less than 12?
Oh, I don't know, 20, 30. Our numbers have dwindled so much I've stopped keeping track.
I didn't know there were that many gods.
We're not all equally legendary, it's true. Some idols were barely worshipped, others not at all. Indeed, not all of us are idols. Some are merely immortal. Hangers-on, if you will. You'll meet them all, given time.
Idols live here? I mean, Calliope didn't, obviously. Apollo doesn't either.
One must have special dispensation from Our Lady of Wisdom, Athena, before they can take up a private dung heap like Apollo's.
Am I gonna have to give him my apartment?
That's rather putting the cart before the horse, darling. First, you must outlive the week.
Right. Good point. I don't know, Pan. Olympus seems pretty grand to me.
As if mortals would know any better. This isn't the first time you've been here. I'm sure Hermes took you to Athena's dreary office.
That's here? Huh.
Good one, that Hermes. Almost as dull-witted as the original, but biddable.
You asked me to meet you here?
I did. As I recall, you owe me a favor that I now wish to collect, if you'd be so kind.
Ah. I'm not breaking rules for you.
Fine. But just so you know, I'm not doing anything that's against the rules. I already have one trial coming.
Grace, baby, boobala. Have I ever led you astray?
I don't know yet.
Not yet.
Here's the thing. A friend has begged for my help, and you're far better suited than I to offer what he requires. I'll give you a key to reach the reliquary where he resides. You help him, and then we're even.
Hey, everyone.
If that's not enough incentive, the reliquary is also where you'll find the lovely Hecate. A sorceress of her power could aid your quest. What do you say?
This person I'm to help. What does he want? And why can't you do it?
Well, Grace, there are some things you're better equipped to handle than I. This, as I understand it, is a delicate matter of the heart. One that requires a muse's hand.
A matter of the heart.
What, did you think I was sending you to rough someone up? Set something aflame? Don't be absurd. The man has an issue with his love life. Even if you can't help him, I'll treat the effort as worth the favor.
What is this reliquary? Doesn't that have something to do with the bones of saints or something?
Not those relics. Our relics. The relics of ancient gods. Magical treasures collected over thousands of years. Books, mainly. We store them in a faraway place so no one unsavory can get their hands on them.
Unsavory like you?
Unsavory like most. Athena has decreed that these relics are not to be used by any save Hecate and herself. A rather dull waste of so much amassed knowledge and power, but who am I to judge? I'm not leader of the chorus.
Hecate resided in the underworld. How's everyone doing today? I don't know if you've all played this. It's been out a little while. I'm really enjoying it. I'm just having a quiet... It doesn't require me to do much narration. Rather than cancel my stream, I thought I would do this. So hopefully that's okay.
If these relics are off limits, does that mean they're dangerous?
Some, but I'm not asking you to chase after any of that nonsense. In fact, I'd advise against it.
But what if one of those relics could help me?
My, such an adventurer you are. It's possible, but ask Hecate first. She, and I mean this with complete and uncharacteristic seriousness, is not an idol you or anyone wishes to cross.
The original witch.
This Hecate, do you think she could help me?
If she's of a mind. She is the goddess of dark magic, the creator of all our marvelous glamours. If anyone can help you, it is she.
And if she's not of a mind?
Then she won't help you. Grace, that part is up to you. I can't be expected to do everything, can I?
So that's it? Fix up someone's love life? Nothing trickier than that?
Oh, the way you talk, Grace. It makes me blush.
Well, it's just
I
that...
trade in willing favors, Grace. If I didn't, no one would want to do as I ask, and then where would I be? I may seem untrustworthy, but allow me to reassure you. If I wish you harm, you will walk into that harm knowingly, and with open arms.
That doesn't make me feel any better.
That's exactly what someone untrustworthy would say.
It will not take you long to learn, dear Grace, that among the idols there are fewer truth-tellers than there are liars. Truths can be hard, after all. But deception? Deception is as boring as it is simple.
2 weeks tomorrow, 10 p.m. So 15 days and an hour and a half. Extra life. Eek. I'll send out reminder emails as it gets a bit closer to the time. Yeah, put some socials up. Hopefully my brain will be in a better place for this.
I'll think about it, but no promises.
Some good
Marvelous.
games.
The gentleman you seek is named Asterion. Lovely fellow, quite harmless. I'll send a package to your domicile that contains directions and the key you'll need to reach the reliquary.
I said no promises.
Well, if you decide to go, Grace, you'll still need all those things. Say hello to darling Hecate on my behalf, will you?
Asterion? Like the Baldur's Gate 3 guy who's like the sexy vampire that's like all over the D&D sphere right now? I don't know if he's in relation to Greek mythology, but that did make me lol. I'm gonna talk to Mopey Guy first. Possibly check with Persephone? Come on, there we go, thank you. Oh, beach hats. Calm down now.
Grace,
Yeah, told you she'd be back.
what are you doing here? When you stayed with Persephone, I thought that... Well, I didn't expect to see you again.
I mean, you were a jerk. I'm gonna go. I wanted to
I
check
thought
on
I'd
you.
check in on you. The way you left, well, it was quite the scene.
Ah, yes, that. I want to apologize for my outburst. Being around my family brings out the worst in me, I'm afraid. It's why I avoid them whenever possible, and why I should have resisted getting dragged into all this.
I'm not letting you off the
Oh
hook.
no, you're not squirming out of this that easily. You said you'd help. Just because you blew up at Persephone doesn't mean you get to walk away from this.
When we met, I said I would just make things worse. And I was right.
You haven't. Even if you had, isn't now the time to fix it?
Goodbye, Grace. I hope you find what you're looking for.
We did not manage to do much there. Let's go talk to Persephone.
Oh, back already, are you? It's just as well. I've asked around, called in some favors, just enough to get an idea of what all the idols are currently up to. Much as I'm loath to admit it, I'm back to thinking Pan may be our prime suspect after all.
Why Pan? I thought you'd rejected him as a suspect.
I did. It doesn't seem like his style. Pan has always preferred scheming over direct confrontation.
She's got a pomegranate
Thing is,
tattoo.
how did he know about you so quickly? What does he hope to gain by sticking his nose in?
A favor or two, I guess.
Half the idols owe him a favor or two. No, he's up to something else. Until I know what it is, I can't discount the possibility that he's involved in all this.
I actually went to see Pan at Olympus. I guess that wasn't such a great idea?
It depends. What did he want this time?
He asked me to repay the favor I owe him by helping someone at a place called the Reliquary.
A reliquary. Interesting. I wonder what his angle is.
Do you think it's a good idea? If Pan is our best suspect, couldn't he be sending me into a trap?
Possibly, but Hecate runs the reliquary, and I doubt she'd countenance any of his schemes. My suggestion? Do as he asks. At the very least, Hecate might prove to be of help to you, if it's written in her bloody book.
Her book?
You'll see.
Okay.
I want to send you to a party, Grace, one Aphrodite is holding. She and Eros know Pan perhaps better than anyone. If you go, it'll give you a chance to find out what he's really up to.
Why a party? Couldn't I just go wherever she lives and ask her?
You could, but if you go to this party, she'll be grateful. She holds it from time to time and always asked Calliope to attend, but Calliope never would. You can put two and two together. A grateful Aphrodite might be willing to tell you what Pan is really up to.
You know Aphrodite better than I do. Can't you talk to her?
She and I don't get along.
Like how you and Apollo don't get along?
Even more intensely than that. I once said some things about her husband. They were true,
Hephaestus.
but unwelcome. Suffice it to say, if I showed up at Aphrodite's party, revealing Pan's secrets would be the last thing on her mind.
One wild party with a goddess of love coming up.
It's less of a wild party and more of a somber affair.
You mean like a cocktail party?
Let me put it this way. Apollo will likely be there.
Gotcha. Expectations of fun downgraded considerably. I'll let you know what I find.
Okay. We've talked to Persephone. We should... jump, see what we've Mm. Aphrodite is throwing some kind of party. Persephone thinks I should go, since Aphrodite knows everyone who's anyone and might be able to help me. She's being vague about what the party's about, though. Should I be worried? Well, it's either an orgy or a funeral. That tends to be, you know, extremes, right? Oh, so much for that. I went to see Apollo to his crappy beach house to see if we could talk about things after he stormed our underworld, and it did not go well. I guess he helped me as much as he could, but I'm hoping we part ways on a better note. Things got ugly, blah, blah, blah. Nope, we read that one already. Pan. Let's see, Pan is natural habitat this time, which turns out is a giant garden and the roof of a magic office building. Go figure. Anyhow, he's calling the favour I owe him and sending me to some place called the Reliquary, which I get to by using a magic key and finding a shipping container at the docks. To fix an idol's love life. Weird. But okay, I guess I assumed Pan's favours would involve, I don't know, mysterious things, illegal things. There's be more to this. This is interesting. I thought Apollo and Persephone had kind of dismissed Pan being a suspect when we were all together, but now Persephone has second thoughts. She thinks he's a schemer, and his sudden appearance was too convenient, so he's back on the list of suspects, I guess. Okay, right, we're going to go to the Reliquary. I am trying to get... There we go. Oh.
When I opened that shipping container, I was expecting, I don't know, rats.
Yeah.
Instead we have... Where the hell are we?
It's hard to say. Weren't we going to some kind of library?
That's how Pan described it. He said it was a, what's the word? A reliquary?
That is where relics are kept, like magic items, like when we played D&D.
This is nothing like D&D.
Well, I don't know about you, Grace, but if a dragon came flying out of that mist, I would not be the least bit surprised.
You are such a nerd.
Speaking of, how much do you actually know about Hecate and this idol you're supposed to help?
The idol we're here to help is named Asterion.
And you know who that is, right?
No. Should I?
That's the Minotaur's real name. You know, big bullhead, horns, lives in a giant labyrinth.
Not the same Asterion.
Pan did not mention that.
Why am I not surprised?
Weirdly, I was thinking Minotaur when he said that we had to help someone fall in love. Then he said Asterion, and I'm like, well, because I did not know that was the Minotaur's real name.
This Minotaur. You don't think he might be dangerous, do you?
Well, traditionally he eats people, but he was also supposed to have been slain by the hero Theseus.
Well, not so slain after all. Pan says he has a problem with his love life.
Maybe he needs to stop eating all his girlfriends? Okay, I knew that sounded wrong the moment I said it.
Yeah, we're not going to go there.
Do you know anything about this Hecate? It's not a name that rings bells.
It should.
Let's see. Well, she was the goddess of witchcraft, the really dark kind. But she's never really portrayed as evil. She was more of an outsider, lived alone, off in her little corner of the underworld. Do you think that's where we could be? Oh, that is so cool.
I was going to say, we're in the underworld,
I bet
obviously.
knowledge is important to her. It could be
That's
in
where I
lingo
said
if you talk to
Hecate
her.
is. Well, at least that's where she is in Lore Olympus, and also that book that I was reading. Madeline Miller. Circe. Also a witch. Let's just go with good idea because I don't.
That
know what
sounds
she said.
good, yeah. Hey, Hecate, I love your library. So much knowledge. Wow.
She says, knowing full well she's the smartest person I've ever met.
If I'm so smart, how am I in this predicament?
It's not a predicament, Grace. It's an adventure.
It's a predicament.
We should go inside instead of standing out here in the fog.
It's more of a mist, really.
A mist potentially full of monsters.
In we go, then. Are you really planning on doing that favor for Pan?
I'm interested in.
Honestly, the reliquary is what I'm really interested in.
Ooh, a plan C. Go on.
There has to be some magical relic that could help me out. The trick will be finding it and getting my hands on it.
That will be a trick, yeah. I love your plans.
Okay, no one said Hecate was a giant lady. Love the mushrooms, though.
I guess the Titan thing is literal, huh?
Mortals within the reliquary. Who permits this intrusion, this sacrilege? This knowledge is not meant for the likes of you. I shall grind you into the dust from whence you came.
I'm gonna go with I'm no mortal because I'm not doing green or
But
red.
I'm not mortal! Wow, does that sound weird coming out of my mouth?
You, perhaps, but the one with you? Mortals cannot learn of the knowledge kept here. Not ever!
I'm gonna go with Freddy as special.
Freddy's not just any mortal. She's special. And she already knows about the idols.
We have been revealed. We are undone!
What? No! No, not undone. I swear, I can go if you want. I will. I'm not gonna tell a soul. It's enough that I even got to see this place. It is so amazing. It's like the Great Library of Alexandria, which, you know, was destroyed, and one of the greatest tragedies of human history.
I have created this sanctuary at great cost. Knowledge is fragile and must be respected.
I'm gonna go with Hecate, meet Freddy.
If you want someone who respects knowledge, Freddy is definitely your gal. Hecate? Meet Freddy. Music lover, writer of lyrics, reader of so many books, I doubt she even knows how many.
Hi. Big fan.
Ah, mortal, you wish to see more. I can see the fire burning in your eyes.
Could I? Oh my god, you have no idea. Ever since Grace told me about this place, I have been dying to see it with my own eyes. Seriously. Like, is that a spiral staircase over there? Can I climb that thing? Do you have like those ladders that like slide around and like help you go higher? Because I would love to just like stand on those. It's like my dream. I have dreams about it, and it's like my favorite thing to even just dream about. Just books in general.
No, you cannot be Grace.
Sure am.
Then Calliope is dead. Is that now? I thought that was not for another 11 months yet.
Wait, what? You knew Calliope was going to die?
No, I am not informed of this for another 11 months and 3 days.
Or I could just tell you now?
That cannot be. It is written.
So someone went against fate.
Yes, it's right here. Calliope joins Grace's band. They become friends. Months later, there is an automobile accident and...
An accident? No, that's not what happened.
Are you saying the books are wrong?
Where are the sisters? Yeah, we have a
Guess I'm
problem.
not the only one with a problem.
But
Fate
this
has
cannot
been
be.
altered.
The sooner you accept that someone, somehow,
sisters
screwed
with
up your
sticky
magic
steps.
books, the sooner we can get on to figuring out what happened.
Uh-oh.
You will explain. We will both sit, and you will explain. There will be tea.
I have my tea.
This book you speak of, she goes back in time to meet a Scotsman lover who exists in the past.
Oh, yeah, several times. It's pretty awesome. You really don't have it?
Yeah.
Mortal printing has outpaced my capacity, I fear. I must focus my efforts on a select portion of...
Look, I hate to interrupt girl talk, but you said we have a
You know,
problem?
I have a library's
Indeed.
worth of books.
From what you have described, something outside the realm of fate has occurred.
Is that even possible?
It is, but I must follow the threads back to their source to find the origin of the deviation. It may take years of research.
Years?
We don't have years.
I don't have years.
We have
That
like
is
50.
unfortunate. If there is nothing else, I must ask you both to leave so I
she's
may
human
begin at
size now.
once.
Is there no way to speed that up? Whoever's behind it might be the murderer.
Such threads are not so easily untangled. I must
Moirai.
consult the Moirai, if indeed they are not the ones responsible.
The Moy what?
You might know them as the Fates.
Three fates.
They
Three
or
sisters.
any beings of a sufficiently cosmic nature have the power to undo the order of things.
That does not sound good.
It's like the
Certainly
monkeys.
not.
Hear no, see
They
no,
are
speak no
also
evil.
not beings I can summon at a whim to solve your mystery. I am sorry.
They share one eye in the original, or at least I say in the original, in the Disney cartoon and in some of the lore that I've read. Three sisters, one spins the threads, one measures the threads, and one cuts the threads. And the threads are life. Which I think kind of fits in with Final Destination that we were talking about last stream, or stream before last, where I had a look on the wiki because I'm like, God, I've only really seen the first couple of movies. And there was a whole thing where new life stops the death stuff happening, or you can kill somebody else and steal their life. I kind of think it's like, yeah, you start spinning on someone else's thread, but it's why resurrection is always comes with a cost, because you know you can't really respin a dead thread, one that's already been cut. But yeah, anyway, that's that part. I'm gonna go with I mean
Actually, I came here to speak to Asterion. If, he is here.
A visitor for Asterion? How strange.
Are we doing guests?
oh, he's a cinnamon roll.
Is that a thing? I didn't know.
Wow, okay. Freddy was right.
As if there was any doubt.
My old friend, this is Grace. She is our muse from the line of Calliope, and it is she who asked for you.
I'm just going with can we
Hi
talk?
there. Can we talk? Somewhere in private?
Talk? What, you and me? Why? What about?
You know, about a delicate matter that maybe you needed help with?
Oh, nope. No, I have no idea what you're talking about. No delegates here.
There you have it, Grace. I believe now is the time when you leave.
But there must be some mistake.
There is no mistake. Not this time.
Ah, please say, it is written.
It is written.
Did you hear that? Pan sends me all this way and Asterion won't even talk to us?
Maybe there's another Asterion?
Oh, that's
Yeah, more likely
Rahul
Pan's got me
Kohli.
chasing my tail. This was pointless.
Well, I don't
who
think we're
is
getting
in
back
iZombie
inside.
as a doctor.
Do you have another plan?
Mortician doctor. Ooh, I'm gonna go with.
I don't know if my
let's-
powers will even work on Hecate, but it's worth a shot.
Ooh, a musical number. Do you think this one could be... do you hear what I'm hearing?
Oh, you're still here? I had to run the entire... Oh, that's a long way, innit?
Oh, I can picture the guy as well. Picture.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to send you away, alright? I just couldn't tell you, not in front of Kate.
Okay.
Kate?
As in Hecate?
You don't mean...
Oh, that is so cute.
I heard what you said about Calliope. I can help you. I really, really can. It has to be you. I am so in love with my dear sweet Kate. I just don't know how to tell her. Please help me tell her.
Oh, my sweet summer child. Oh, we have to do matchmaking.
Are you really the Minotaur? Like, the monster who roamed a maze and ate people?
And is supposed to be dead.
Well, my father locked me up in a labyrinth, but I never ate anyone.
Oh, well, that's good.
Except Theseus. But he was a bellend.
You ate Theseus? Can we not question on that?
Let me get this straight. You're in love with Hecate. That Hecate.
Oh, mate, Kate is... She's just the best. Like, she knows everything and she always smells so good. She's so nice to me and she doesn't even have to be. Oh, we got stuck in the tower together because we can't live in the mortal world. I know I could make her happy. Well, I want to try. Oh, won't you help me?
This is little context. Why not talk?
Have you tried, I don't know, talking to her about how you feel? I take that as a no.
I don't have the words. I've tried. Every time I end up knocking over a table or killing a cat or talking about how sometimes meat has that grisly texture I don't like.
You killed her cat? Oh, no.
It was a small cat. I panicked. I'm just not good at words. Right? Really not good.
Do you really call Hecate Kate? Off topic, I know, but I have to ask.
Sometimes she has to go into the mortal world for a short time and do things for Athena.
Uh-huh. And...
Well, she had to make up a magic disguise, a new identity. And I thought she should give it a proper name.
And you suggested Kate?
Yeah, she really liked it. She said, "Thank you, Asterion."
Aww.
Okay, so you're in love with Hecate. What is it you think I can do?
A muse knows about poetry and the heart and how to make words beautiful. All I want is to ask her, but I need good words. Please,
I know that feels,
please
mate.
say you'll help me.
Need good words. What if she
Hecate might say no. You know that, right?
Well, she probably will. I mean, she's Kate. And I'm me. But just once, I'd like to be able to ask her, to say it out loud instead of thinking it. I'll still help you. No matter what she says. I promise.
Okay, so I believe you.
I don't know. Doesn't this feel a little weird?
Which part?
Helping him woo her with my powers.
You heard what Pan said. You can't make anyone do anything they don't want to do. You can only make them say what's in their heart.
Yeah, that's the part I can't do.
I do this and you'll help me in return, right?
Athena made Kate swear she's not allowed to say anything about what happens at the tower. But she never made me swear. Maybe she never thought anyone would ask. But I'll tell you, even if Kate doesn't like it, I'll tell you.
If I do this first.
If you help me, any trouble will be worth it.
I mean, I'd love to say I got this,
I can't
but
say
that's
I'm
not,
exactly
like,
sure
my
what
strength
to
this
do.
time.
Can't you just, start the music?
Yeah, but to do what?
Oh, leave that to me. I am so excited about this, I can't even stand it.
What exactly did you have in mind, Freddy?
I'll set up a vibe and you go for it.
I'm not great at words. I'm more of a dancer.
Just speak from the heart. Be honest. You can do it.
You cast a spell on me. Not literally, obviously. But I feel in summary, you and me are meant to be.
This is
'Cause you put a hex on me. You didn't do it to me directly. I'm not blaming you specifically, just that metaphorically. Shit, can someone help me? Right off the bat, I'm done. 'Cause you've gone all quiet, it's deafening silence. I'm just joking, having fun. So let's ignore that bit before.
I knew this would come. It was written, a confession unbidden. You say that you're smitten, perhaps you're possessed. I have one request. Is this real how you feel, or is this part of some elaborate jest?
It's not, my love.
My love? Yes, keep going. Try again.
put a spell on me.
You've cast a spell on me. It's a feeling that's killing me.
She likes him back.
But let's say categorically, oh Katie, it's just you and me.
Hey, Scarface.
Everything I do for you is perfect for this minor tour. And sure, I killed your cat Baboo, but watch me move this shelf all by myself.
I saw this day long ago. What to do, I do not know. I was dismissive of any true kind of love of my own. Yet I'm not alone. You have always been true. It is all too...
I don't mean to confuse you, my love.
My love.
Oh, God.
Is that too weird?
I have yet to decide, Asterion.
Then,
Keep it together, Asterion. Don't lose it.
Hecate, you've cast a spell on me, and I'm ashamed of what your magic has done to me. I could have kept my mouth shut, now it's agony. And you've gone all weird, and that's what I feared. Someone please rescue me.
Stand back, there's nothing to see. Everyone move along, it's a car crash of a song.
But you're wrong, make no apology. See, she hasn't disappeared.
She is standing right here.
I know when I stand next to you, I don't feel like such a freak. I know you feel that way too. You're not like other gods. My love, what are the odds that we're here? Us outsiders
Blew all
should
the way.
cheer that we found each other.
Why didn't you open with that?
Oh, was that good?
I'm tempted, but what you're all telling me is nothing will go wrong, for it's destiny. Have you truly considered this carefully? Black magic takes a toll, and if you lose control, the cost is paid by reality. Is my heart worth everything going amiss? I cannot protect you from the dark abyss, so don't dismiss, just resist.
You think that I don't know the darkness inside of me. You know the stars, but do you remember your history? I love the person I have become. You changed me. Come with me. Come with me. Come with me. Come with me.
Put a spell on me.
I cannot do this, Asterion. The pain you feel now is nothing compared to what would come.
But the pain I feel now, Kate, it's killing me.
I can take it away. You need only say the word.
Oh.
I have to do this, Grace. I want this.
I call
But I
on
mean,
the
you know, she said no and he respected it,
of an
so.
ancient darkness to guide this sweet creature off this treacherous road. In all of creation, love is most leaden. I beg of the cosmos to lighten his load. For he may love, but will not be in love. For he may Your love was never a lie. It is simply no longer true. And I know, in my heart, I am rescuing you. The arrow of Eros I forced to undo. I put a spell on you.
It worked. I don't love you anymore. Well, no offense, Kate. I still like you and all, but...
Once a month, I shall place a glamour so that mortals will see you simply as a man. You may go out into their realm and look for the love you so desire.
I am... Thank you, Kate. It's not what I wanted, but it's more than I deserve.
If I had known you felt so, dear friend, I would have offered it long ago. As for you, Grace, I thank you for arranging this diversion, however it came to pass.
Didn't you know this was gonna happen ahead of time?
Yes, but it was also written that I would be surprised by Asterian's revelation. So I was. Those are the rules.
That is seriously weird.
It was also... what is the word? Fun? Rarely does revelry find its way into the reliquary.
No hard feelings, I hope, about me using my powers?
You helped Asterian speak his feelings, and I to speak mine. It was a kind thing, even if it did not end as Asterian originally hoped.
I wonder if there's a way to get them together.
Do I get to decide what I look like when I go to the mortal world?
Within reason, and appropriate to your mass.
So I gotta be big. Okay, alright, yeah, I can work with this.
Come, Asterian, there is much to be done. I will need my pens, a sample of blood, and you will need to dig up my cat.
Hey, wait for me outside, yeah?
I'm sorry, I hear the voice and I can't help but just the doctor
How
dude
long are we
from
supposed to
iZombie.
wait? It's been over an hour.
I'm sure it's fine, Grace. I doubt the Minotaur would break his promise. Say, what'd I tell you?
Whew. You still here? I'm sorry. Kate had a lot to say.
Should we watch that? I don't think I finished. I was musing, Alkesh, if I picked a different, if I picked the green or the red. Actually asking, because I kind of don't want to be spoiled if I play this, when I play this again, but I was just musing out loud. Rhetorical question. If I made different choices, could I get them together? So, yeah, that's where I was going. But I don't actually want to know the answer. I will find it out next playthrough, which will be off stream, but, I'm going to go with...
Are you sure you're okay? I mean, she made you fall out of love with her. Isn't that weird?
Oh, no. This is so much better. I just couldn't remember where I buried the cat. Right, so, I suppose you want to know how Calliope broke into the reliquary that night.
She did what?
No, we didn't know anything about that. Do you mean the night she died?
Oh, well, I thought you already knew. Yeah, the night Calliope died, she broke in somehow.
But that's where Pan...
Thing is, we know she didn't take anything or even touch anything. I just remember the alarms, and I chased after her.
What did you know?
How do you know Calliope didn't touch or take anything?
Kate knows everything in the reliquary, right down to the last book. She's been looking, but she can't figure if anything was touched. It makes her so mad not to know. And it made Athena pretty mad too.
Maybe she
Athena
left
got
something
involved?
there.
Yeah, when Kate finally told her, Athena wants Kate to keep investigating, but it doesn't look good.
Thought posit. Light bulb. Obviously, if you've played this already, I don't actually want to know the answer. This is just me musing out loud, because then if you do know the answer, you can giggle away, like Faisal always did during, was it Danganronpa or Zoroaster? Either which way. Whatever it was that I was playing. No, it wasn't Faisal. It was, Kai. Whenever I was playing one of those games. Oh, I miss Zoroaster. Raincoat looks interesting, but I don't know whether it's the same vibe. Same people. Don't know whether it's the same vibe. And I can't afford it right now anyway. As soon as I get a job, there are 2 games I want. The New Life is Strange and I want to get Raincoat. And then I want to donate to Flop's charity thingy, and I want to resubscribe to everybody because, yeah. Oh, and get a massage because my neck keeps on clicking. But besides that, I reckon that's the... See, I went on a tangent. I nearly forgot what I was going to say. Posit. Calliope did not take or touch. She left something there. And that is a clue.
You chased Calliope, but did you ever catch up with her?
No. If I'd have caught her, I'd have brought her back and Kate would have gotten answers out of her. All I know is that she was hurt, bleeding bad, but I don't know why.
Oh.
I wanted to help her, but she got away in the fog. Then I ran into Medusa.
Medusa?
Medusa? Here?
Yeah. Well, she's not normally here. I think maybe
We're
she was
getting
chasing
so
after
many
Calliope
clues here.
too.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's go with
How
wounded
could
first.
Calliope have been wounded?
I don't know. Maybe Medusa did it. Probably not, though. You know, I never saw Medusa near the reliquary, just out in the fog, so she never even got that close.
So whatever happened to Calliope happened inside the reliquary.
I guess. But we don't have anything that would attack anyone. Especially not an idol.
So someone else. But they did it inside the reliquary.
If so, they vanished after.
Did you say the reliquary has alarms? Like burglar alarms, cameras?
Oh, no, nothing like that. It just has a lot of protections. You know, magic.
I don't know magic, actually.
Oh, well, it's just meant to keep the dangerous stuff from being touched. It was set off, so something happened in the reliquary. We just, don't know what exactly.
Those alarms don't go off if someone breaks into the reliquary? They don't detect intruders?
Oh, normally nobody does that.
Well, Calliope did. She got in somehow.
Well, she must have snuck in the back way. Where do you think I keep running
We're having a
from?
no romance run through it.
Whatever Calliope did here, it was enough to set off the alarms. That's all I know.
I'd like to survive this. Gosh, we've got so
What
many questions.
relics are there? Maybe Calliope was looking for one, but couldn't find it before...
Yeah, that I'm not supposed to say.
Do you have the golden fleece, the shield of Zeus, the sword of Damocles? Is it suspended?
You know a lot about that stuff for a mortal.
So it's all real?
I can neither confirm nor deny
Fangirling.
any of that.
Hashtag
All I know
fangirling.
is that nothing got used and nothing got taken.
Hashtag fangirling.
Athena knows what happened here the night Calliope died?
Yeah, Kate told her a day or so later, I think. We didn't know Calliope died that night, though.
What? Athena didn't mention it?
Nope. Not that that's weird. She's not the chatty type, you know. She came in all quiet and cool, wanted to know who was here that night and what Calliope might have wanted. She swore Kate to silence. Not me, though. Guess she's not as smart as Kate.
But Grace couldn't have been there, so surely that you know, is more evidence.
What was Medusa doing here?
She was chasing after Calliope too, I think, but she wouldn't say why. I asked.
Seems pretty convenient. Her just out there suddenly.
Yeah, that part's weird. I've never seen her near the reliquary before.
Couldn't Medusa have broken in like Calliope did?
Yeah, but I chased Calliope from the reliquary. If Medusa had been there, I would have seen her.
This
Thank you
means
so much.
Calliope came here the night she died. This is where she was attacked.
But we don't know by whom.
We know Medusa was here. She might even have been involved.
Well, she's super scary,
Could do with
but
Cleo.
you know she works for Athena, right? I thought maybe that's why she was here, but Athena said she didn't know about it.
That does seem suspicious.
If that's all you need, then I have to go. Kate will be so mad if she finds me gone.
Don't be suspicious.
Good luck,
Don't
Muse.
be suspicious.
You okay there, friendo?
Missing something.
I just can't help but feel like I'm missing something right in front of me.
How so?
Calliope came here for a reason. Why? Someone has to know because they knew she was here.
True.
And Athena knows what went down here. She can't honestly still think it was me, can she?
One thing at a time, Grace. You'll figure it out. I know you will.
I guess so. Next thing is to go back to Pan. Tell him his favor is done.
What an adventure.
Sorry?
You're just lucky, Grace. Luckier than you think. You go do what you have to, and I'll meet you back at the apartment, okay?
Okay. So I still think she left something there. Oh, it just crashed. Oh no. Did it save? I was not expecting that. Humble games. Bing. I don't like it when games crash when they've been out a while.
Pan! I hope you're here, because I don't know where else to look for you.
I think this is picking up.
Of
This is the
course
second
I'm
time.
here, Grace. Where else would I be but amongst the trees and the wild things? I really must thank you, by the by. Asterion is simply over the moon, and he's already repaid me with this select tome from the reliquary.
Ah. That is not good, but you managed to complete it though, Elkash. Buggy achievements. I don't like buggy achievements. Really don't like buggy achievements. But I do like this game, so I will give it a little bit of a pass, because it did at least drop me right back where I was. So, you know. I'm gonna go with you wanted a book.
That's why you did all this? Because you wanted some book?
Not just some book, but a tome from the forbidden depths.
Also, did I say hi, Elkash?
I doubt Hecate would be pleased.
Oh, most assuredly not. Neither would Athena, which makes it all the more delicious. I trust you got what you needed. More grist for the mill of your innocence, as it were.
You already knew I would, right?
Oh? Did I?
Come on, Pan. How stupid do you think I am? The place you sent me for this favor just happens to be where Calliope was attacked. You had to know I'd discover that. If you wanted me to know, why not just tell me? What's the angle? Tell me why I shouldn't be suspicious, Pan.
You have no reason to be suspicious. I know nothing of what happened to Calliope at the
said that.
reliquary. I suppose the
you-
question at the heart of this is, do you believe me?
I think he gave her access. I'm
I'm
trying.
trying to, Pan, but you make this really hard.
Ah, yes. Doubt. What a fascinating concept, and an excellent
This totally
reason
bugs
to
me.
hesitate. Alas, it is my burden to be forever condemned by my idle brethren. I've become accustomed to it. Truly. I've never lied to you, Grace, and I never shall. If you're looking for innocence,
Excuse me.
however, well,
Not
I'm
the game,
afraid
just-
that's one thing I cannot provide.
And if I can't accept that? If I find out you're somehow involved in this?
You'll do what you do, and I'll do what I do, and we'll see where that takes us.
That's my cue to go, isn't it?
If you must. There are always alternatives, you know. You could live the high life, Grace. Throw caution to the wind. Embrace what you can before you...
What, die in 6 days?
Before I die?
He's a
You don't
trickster
have
god.
any hope for me, do you? You're just taking what you can get before it's over.
It's more than his sake.
You'll want to find
Yes.
Medusa, I suppose.
She was at the reliquary, but you already knew that.
You'll find Medusa at a dingy little club appropriately named the Viper's Nest. Give her my regards. But do be careful if you call on her, Grace. Medusa is a hideous monster and should be treated as such.
Harsh. Okay, we've got journal. Calliope. I wish the scroll was faster. Okay, that was unexpected. Freddie and I went to the reliquary not expecting much, and instead we found out from Astorian that Calliope went there the night she died. Not only that, it's probably where she was attacked. She fled from the reliquary bleeding and probably went from there to my apartment. It's bizarre though. What was she even doing there? Astorian said that while she snuck into the reliquary, she didn't actually take anything. She set off the alarms and ran out, chased by Astorian and Medusa too. This is really major. How will I find out what happened to her inside? Athena, goddess of the arena. Astorian mentioned that Athena came to the reliquary the day after Calliope died, tipped off by Medusa maybe, or Hecate herself, I guess. Athena swore Hecate to secrecy about everything, but not Astorian, as he happily pointed out. Does this mean she knows what's happened to Calliope there? Pan. I don't think he did it. I think he knows or suspects. He knows or suspects and is pushing us in the right direction, not unsubtly. So Freddie and I went to the reliquary to do Pan's little favour, and wouldn't you know it, that's where Calliope was attacked. Where she was before she went to my apartment. That's quite the coincidence, isn't it? Okay, so Hecate. Pan said that Hecate, goddess of black magic, might be of help in my search, and he was wrong, very wrong. What he didn't say was why. She's the giant librarian witch goddess, so wants secrecy about anything related to her extra-dimensional tower fortress thing. Sound weird? That's because it is. And she is, but she's also kind of earnest and cool too. She knows the future, but will do whatever's supposed to happen because it's supposed to happen. I'll never wrap my head around that. She wasn't going to break her oath to Athena at any rate, so I had to go along with Mysterian's crazy plan to woo her with a song. Not that he got what he wanted in the end. Hecate offered him an illusion spell so he could look for his love among mortals. Things are probably better off that way anyway. Hecate's not really a falling in love sort. I still wish she'd been maybe willing to bend the rules a little to help me out, but nope, I don't get everything I want either. That's a good way of looking at it. Get this, the Asterian who Pan sent me to is none other than the Minotaur. That's right, half man, half bull. But not really the monster all the stories talk about. Actually, I take that back. He's not a monster at all. He's an adorable, awkward, stuttering pile of man pudding who's hopelessly in love with Hecate. And he's desperate for my help to hook them up. Yes, he's a sweet summer child, a cinnamon roll. In the end, I couldn't do it, or maybe it's better to say it was never meant to happen. It still worked out for Asterian, I think, because Hecate cast the spell to make him fall out of love with her and promised to help him find love among the mortals instead. Try to imagine him going out into the mortal world disguised as a human and going on dates. It must be cute if I didn't imagine the disasters waiting him with modern dating. Poor man, I hope it works out. Now, this is interesting. According to Asteria, Medusa was at the reliquary the night Calliope died, and that's why Calliope was attacked. Well, that's where Calliope was attacked. He said Medusa was out there in the mist and never got inside at all. What was she doing there in the first place? The reliquary is not something you can just wander past by accident. Asterian said Medusa's pretty scary. Maybe she's the culprit we're looking for. She's not, but she's going to give us another piece of the puzzle. I do want to go to the party after this. Serpentine!
This must be the Viper's Nest. Scariest part of town, no sign. Just that one dude glaring at everyone. Well, I'm here now. Just another day in the life of an idol.
Grace, of all the places to run into a friend.
Pan, what are you doing here?
I'm the one who told you about this place. You didn't expect my curiosity to get the better of me?
Tell me the truth.
You aren't just curious, Pan. Why are you really here? The truth this time.
I need to have some dastardly ulterior motive other than to be of assistance. For shame, Grace.
You don't, but you probably do.
It's true. I am a bad man, and I spoke poorly. I did not, however, want you wandering into this without advice.
Excuse me. Okay, right, I'm gonna ask the question, the burning question. Hi, Emma. Can Medusa really turn
Medusa
people
is the
into
one who
stone?
turns people into stone just by looking at them, right?
People, yes. Idols, not so much. Or that's my assumption. I'll admit to not knowing if she's ever turned her gaze on one of us.
I could go in there and boom, statue time?
Maybe. Probably not.
Okay, Medusa works for
Asterion
Athena.
said Medusa works for Athena. Is that right?
A truer description, I'd say, is that she's more Athena's servant. Poor thing can't survive on her own. So she's become whatever Athena needs. Spy master, enforcer, provider of garden statuary.
She sounds terrifying.
More importantly, Grace, she's clever. Medusa will be no simple target.
I think Medusa got Scaravase, and there's a Scaravase-shaped statue somewhere.
Medusa's clever and works for Athena, but what's she really like?
She doesn't exactly come to the parties, Grace. Medusa is an enigma to most of us. If idols hide in the shadows, she lurks in even darker places. She's an outsider, and she loathes us as much as she needs us.
Is she dangerous?
Let's just say we're all rather relieved she stays away.
If you have any advice, Pan, I'm all ears.
Well, I assume you know how Medusa became what she is.
Not really, no.
It is a sad, sad tale.
Yeah.
Athena cursed her. A travesty of justice if there ever was one. Thing is, Athena no longer has the power to undo the curse. Or so she says. What I'm trying to say is that Medusa is not happy about it.
I feel it was
Perhaps that's something you can use.
love gone wrong. There's a Gorgon. The name derives from the Greek word for guardian. Right, okay, so Neptune. In the late version of the Medusa myth by the Roman poet Ovid, Medusa was originally a beautiful maiden. When Neptune, the Roman equivalent of Greek Poseidon, mated with her in Minerva's temple, Minerva being the Roman equivalent of the Greek Athena, Minerva punished Medusa by transforming her beautiful hair into horrible snakes. Although earlier versions mention this, ancient depictions of Medusa as a beautiful maiden instead of a horrid monster predate Ovid. And in most versions of the story, she was beheaded by the hero Perseus, who was sent to fetch her head by King Polydectes, because Polydectes wanted to marry Perseus' mother. And the gods gave Perseus help. He got a mirrored shield from Athena, sandals with gold wings from Hermes, a sword from Hephaestus, and Hades' helm of invisibility. I'm fairly certain he stole that one. Since Medusa was mortal...
Train sub.
Ooh. Train sub. Tankor for train sub. Wow. Okay. So because she was the only one of the three Gorgons who was mortal, Percy was able to slay her because he did the whole reflection and the shield thing. Apparently Medusa was pregnant at the time by Poseidon, and when Perseus beheaded her, Pegasus, a winged horse, and Chrysaor, a giant wielding a golden sword, sprang from her body. So that is, you know... a tale and a half. Also, hi, lovely. Ovid, just to see, yeah. Yes, but Ovid is a
Okay, enough
Roman
talking.
philosopher.
Time to do this.
See, that's the spirit. Now there's simply the matter of getting you in before she's aware you're here.
And you'll help me with that?
As best I can, certainly. Though I do hope you have some kind of plan. A word of advice before we proceed. Once you find Medusa, make the number a knockout.
I have been kind of underwhelmed by the music so far. I was expecting more, you know, majestic. Okay, use a distraction, find another entrance, confront the enforcer. Find another entrance? Feels logical. Ah, I'm not the only one. Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like...
You didn't have to follow me up
Asterian's
here.
going to put a spell on me, and
I'm
it's like,
helping.
come on, put some soul into it.
Can you help me pick the lock on this skylight?
Do I look like some
Lackluster is a great word.
vagabond cat burglar? It's bad enough I scuffed my trousers during the climb. Far be it for me to question you, Grace, but are you certain this is wise? I rather thought we would use our wits to gain entry.
I don't recall you having any suggestions, Pan.
You were so eager to start climbing the walls, I didn't want to
I
discourage
just
your
went with
vigor.
what I felt was logical.
Plus, you wanted to stare at my butt on the way up.
I can make the best of any situation.
And there we go. Coming?
We're both going to regret this.
Probably. Let's split up and look around.
I mean, if that wasn't the logic thing, they didn't have any colours on them. How was I supposed to know? To me, another entrance made sense. But yes, lackluster is a great word. Why is there what looks like a... Why is everyone dead?
What a long day, hiding in the light. Such a long day, dreaming of tonight. This sacred bite. Hello, who's that there? You've messed up my flow. Just get your drink, girl, and take your seat. Oh, it's the muse. There are sacred bites, and then there's this sacred bite. So wrong, so right. I'm really gonna hate myself tonight. Medusa, listen, stop, I'm warning you.
I know, right?
This is something you don't want to do. Tell me more about me, look at you. A prime sashimi with opinions, too. Medusa, listen, I'm warning you. Yes, keep on warning There's no rewinding, it's something you can't undo. Can't undo. It's kind of the point, lovely. Now look into me.
No.
Your body glows freely.
hypnopart works, yeah.
I think you're saying I can't speak. And that was why can't I speak? I call it the preparation. Alright, that's fine, you want the boring facts. Well dear, this process makes your meat relax. Turn you to stone. And miss that lovely musy taste of you. And it's just murder on the jumpers too. That thing you said before, you're right, it's true. Feels extra special doing something you can't undo.
It's a little bit... We had to compose music for grade 5 theory back in the day when I still did music. And I had no imagination. So I just plonked some notes on a page and went, hi, this is music. It's kind of basic.
Look into me. Oh, she's looking away. Hey,
I'm just a temporary muse. Wait,
what? A temporary muse.
I'm not worth the price.
It's not
I'm
something
common
you can
place.
choose.
Not some exotic slide. I'm afraid only idols can look away from me.
Nice try.
You and Athena. Here's the thing I don't get. Are you her spy? Some sort of PI? Or more like her
I mean, that's not
pet?
really prejudice, that's just matter of
Am I
fact.
hurting the mood when I mention her name?
The fact that she'd hate that you're on my plate only makes me more game.
I mean, okay, the music is good, it's just the words don't quite...
Medusa,
yeah, it just doesn't quite
look
hit
into
that
your
note that I want
own
it to make.
eyes. Nope. Okay, the phone thing doesn't work on you. Ooh. Nevertheless, let's take a look at you. Van called you hideous. That's just untrue.
Enough.
I'd kill for eyes like that. The body too.
Don't look at me.
Maybe the hair needs some attending to.
Don't look at me.
Big picture, honey. It's nothing you can't undo. Yeah, you're not a killer. You're much too cute.
You're lost, little girl. No more Hail Marys. We both know the cute girl's you. The killer's me.
Don't know, you don't know.
I do know that you didn't
Kill Calliope. So you know that it's true that I didn't do it.
Entirely possible, Ima.
Yes, you do know, you know. Does that mean Athena knows?
No. Fine grace.
Don't you see, Medusa? You just
Do you know what I think? I don't know. So I'm just gonna pause the song. It's kind of like when I try and sing bits of words that sound to me like it should be a song, but there's not a song and there's no music, and I do it terribly. It's like, I don't know. It just needs. It's not. I guess operatic is the word I'm looking for. It's not operatic enough for me. It's not got the musical, the catch. You've got to have something that's with a hook that sticks in your head. And there's a new musical playing in London. It's by the same creator as Six. And I can't remember what it's called, but the song has been all over TikTok. They pre-released it, and it's so catchy. Are there multiple versions of the vocals based on choices or anything? I don't know, Leaky. I've only played this far. Unless you're asking chat generically. I mean, it's entirely possible that you've got multiple, as Leaky just suggested, multiple different vocals going to the same music. Which, you know, still, you could still have some catchy choruses. So far, the only one that's managed to do anything is the Minotaur one, and it's just got, "You've got a spell on me," or "You put a spell on me," stuck in my head, which I can't even remember past the first line of the words anyway. But it could be a case of trying to fit it to multiple things. I don't know. It's a good idea, though. But they're kind of unforgettable. I don't even rate Hamilton particularly. And I would not really call Hamilton, you know, the original musical. I grew up with musical theatre.
Did I miss something? I was hoping my entrance would be more dramatic.
Is he serious?
It depends. What do you think, Medusa? Will you help me out?
Oh, fine. Fine. What exactly is it that you want, pretty muse?
I'm going to start with why you were at the...
You were at the reliquary the night Calliope was murdered. I want to know why.
Blast! This is why I didn't tell Lady Athena. I knew it would come back to haunt me. I only followed pretty Calliope to the reliquary. I never spoke to her, never even caught up to her. I swear it.
But you were there that night.
Yes, I admit it. Ugh, Lady Athena will have my head. She'll mount it on a pike. Whatever you might think of me, I had no part in the Muse's death. I did not even know she'd been attacked until I saw her fleeing.
I love The Greatest Showman. I didn't really rate Hamilton. I didn't see it in theatre. I saw it on Disney Plus. And I saw it with a bunch of people that clearly had seen it many times and were obsessing about it and kept on going, "Look, it's the bullet!" And I'm like, what? And I just didn't get the fuss. There's a couple of good songs, but I didn't get the fuss. But, you know, I grew up with, you know, musical theatre. Fiddler on the Roof, Sound of Music, Calamity Jane. You know, the old Gilbert and Sullivan stuff. That's literally, my mum was in musical society thing, you know, so every year I would go and, you know, I started helping out backstage, did some props. Really weird story of how I met my granddad. But yeah, I grew up with that. So yeah, musicals have a place in my heart. Some of them I've not seen. I you know, the ones I have, I love music. I'm just very bad at it. I like catchy songs, like the musical episode of Buffy and Grey's Anatomy, and like The Greatest Showman in its entirety. Oh, that animated one with the pigs and the gorillas. Sing. Is it just called Sing? And then there's Sing 2. I like those. But yeah, I like. You did props for the 2 of the sixth form productions at school. Cool. I was in a sixth form production. There is a video. I may set it on fire. Okay.
Asterion said he caught up with you out in the fog. Is that right?
I thought he was the one who had attacked her. He is a great beast of a creature.
Oh, that seems rather
What is that
unlikely.
new
The
one
bull's
called?
as gentle as a
Just found
lamb.
the song.
Yes, I only realized my mistake once I caught up to him, and by then the muse was gone.
And you never found her afterwards?
It's
I
called
thought
Why
she
Am I
might
So
flee to her
Signal?
pretty home, or to the sharp and prickly Persephone. But she did neither.
Yeah, she came to see me.
And the song is called 8 Dates. It's by the same people that wrote 6. I mean, I like Disney and Pixar for musical stuffs. But, you know, I like DreamWorks as well. Disney have the best reputation on the animated stuff. There are some real stinkers in there. I just like media. Oh my god. Okay. Anastasia. One of my all-time favorite Disneys. Love Anastasia. That I frequently get stuck in my head, including, I think, like, last weekend? One of the games I was playing, the music sounded like one of the songs from Anastasia. Have you not seen it, Ima? It wasn't so much a musical as there were songs in it. Da, 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 da. Once upon a December. Da, 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 da. The things I want to remember. Oh, ignore that last bit. That went a bit flat. But yeah, it was definitely. Do you not remember, like, Rasputin and his little bat thing and the dancing bugs and creepy crawlies? Das Vidanya, Anastasia! Yeah, but love Anastasia. That and Basil the Great Master Detective. Oh, Robin Hood. Robin Hood and Little John riding through the forest. It's just not going to turn into Disney sing-along. I do not want to get copyright strike. But yeah. I think probably some of my favorite Disney ones have the songs in, which is why I like them. So yeah. Anyway. You saw a few West End musicals in your youth. One of my favourites was Calamity Jane. Oh, also Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. I was in that. Well, it was probably women, I'm considering, you know, child labour laws and all that. Alright,
You
why were you
followed
following
Calliope to the reliquary. Why were you shadowing her at all?
I am Lady Athena's spy master, yes. Calliope has been trouble from time to time.
Trouble enough to keep an eye on, hmm?
I keep watch over every idol who no longer lives in Olympus, but especially Calliope. When I realized she was headed to the reliquary that eve, I followed. I had a duty to Athena.
I know the song. I just really hate it when women are infantilized and sexualized at the same time. That's really creepy. Cats. I saw Cats. Possibly at the West End. I also saw Chicago. That was brilliant. I don't know whether I saw... I definitely saw Chicago in London. Loved it. Loved it. Got the movie as well with Renée Zellweger and... spacing on the name of the dude. But yeah, it's got the engineer from Deep Space Nine in, I think. But yeah, Chicago and Cats. I remember seeing that. Cats was great on stage. No more should be said about the movie version with Dame Judi Dench and James Corden. No, things should not be said about that. Avenue Q. I did not see Avenue Q, but I do know that the internet is for porn. That one lived rent free in my head for a while, and that was before TikTok. Yeah, Cats the movie was rather bad. Oh, Grease. Yeah. And Les Mis, yeah. Its problem is that, you know, I've seen so many over the years. There's some I've still not seen. But I do so love musicals. I like singing along, which is why the whole point of this was there's not one catchy thing in this that I've been, you know, that I can sing along and be like, oh yeah, cool, this is the game has really done this. I don't like the game. I like the game. I just think the music could have had a little bit more oomph, a little bit more karaoke vibe. It is all very Joe is trying to sing lines that aren't set to music type thing. Yes. I got it on my wish list. I'm looking forward to that coming out. But if it's got karaoke vibes, yeah. This is as we started this, I was like, ooh, can I sing along? Is it gonna get catchy? So it's not done that yet, and we are about halfway through. So I'm kind of sad. But I am also really enjoying the murder mystery aspect of it, because I do love a good mystery. And I'm loving the characterization of all the gods and stuff. So, you know. And at least it doesn't make me do a music puzzle. I dislike music puzzles. Okay, I'm sometimes really bad at them, but it's probably just because I did music like obsessively at school, because apparently I really wanted to play the flute. I also played the piano, and then to be able to go further in the flute I needed to do theory. I was terrible at theory. Well, the you know, the fact stuff was fine. It was the composing. Could not compose a bloody tune to save my life. I scraped through. But then I didn't go past grade 5 flute, so it was like, I didn't really need to do the theory. And now I can't remember how to play the flute, but I did keep a couple of bits of sheet music, I think. Or I think they're at my mum's. Because I really love the Snowman. I've got the Snowman suite. Got a soft spot for Gershwin as well. But yeah. Used to be able to play the flute, can't remember how to play the flute. Kind of almost forgot how to read music as well. It's one of those, you know, when you are... It's a skill regression thing. Thankfully, I did not forget how to drive or ride a bike, but I did forget how to play the flute. Apparently that it was connected with a lot of stuff that got rewritten in my brain when I found out, or when I started my, you know, autism realization journey. It decided that, you know, music was associated with too much trauma and needed rewriting. I'm okay with losing it. I'd have been more sad had I lost the ability to drive a car. Less sad with riding a bike, but probably something that I will do when I move out of London, because, you know, I like walking everywhere, but once you get out of London, everything's kind of far away, and I think riding a bike might be useful. Depending on where I end up, I guess. Depending on where I end up. But it's also more environmentally friendly than a car, which I will also have, but I'd rather bike if it's easier. We've gone on a bit of a tangent. Not really. Kind of ish. Okay, I need some more tea and the bathroom. So I'm going to dub this break time. We will continue the musical discussion when I get back, and also find out what was going on with Medusa and Calliope. And now my legs are cold because I took the blanket off them. So we're going to hurry and have a break and do some self-care. I'll be back in a few. Hi. Oh, hang on. Alright, sorry. The ad break hadn't ended. I thought it had ended, and then the chat jumped. Hi, I'm back. All I said was, hi, Apex.
Did you ever find out why Calliope went there?
I was never close enough to ask. When I drew near to the reliquary, that is when I saw the muse fleeing. She was frightened, bloodied, dying.
A tasty snack for you to hunt down.
I gave chase, yes, but to discover the truth. I knew Lady Athena would wish to know.
That does make sense from your perspective.
I didn't learn the truth until later. And then it was far too late.
You haven't told Athena any of this? You agreed to help, remember?
I told her Calliope was at the reliquary that night. I did not tell her I was also there.
Why not? Wouldn't Athena find out from Hecate anyway?
No, I was not thinking clearly. I panicked. Lady Athena barely tolerates my presence as it is. If she thought I was involved in any way, if she even suspected...
The scars look painful.
Why should we believe you? You did just try to eat me, remember?
I agreed to help you. I speak the truth.
One that conveniently paints you as innocent.
You presented an opportunity. Oh, to taste the sweet, sweet blood of a hero once again. It's a problem. I've been working on it, I really have. I know it's hard to believe what a monster tells you, but it is true.
I'm gonna go with...
Okay, let's say we believe you. For the moment.
I've told you everything I know. We have a bargain. You said my curse might be lifted.
Hey, I'll ask Persephone. That's all I can do.
Whatever you do, pretty muse, I beg you. Do not tell Athena of my indiscretion. Show mercy.
But you need to tell her that...
horrifies you. It horrifies me as well. I cannot help what I am. I did not ask to be cursed like this.
She didn't. She slept with a god. And generally mortals that sleep with gods get cursed. Or deaded. Or punished. The gods never get punished, obviously, you know. Hera was particularly guilty of doing that, though, you know, being married to Zeus would test anyone's patience. But we needed to tell Athena that Calliope was injured, killed, attacked in the reliquary, so we weren't there. But also we kind of need to go back to find out what the blip happened. Except that Hecate won't tell us, and the Minotaur doesn't know.
Whether I tell Athena depends. Have you done this before?
Medusa, what happened to Artemis?
She left? I am a lost and cursed thing. No idol. If Lady Athena should learn the truth...
Goddess of the hunt.
I hope you find what you seek, pretty muse. And that we meet again someday. And sing a different song.
Oh yes, different songs. So, pause. Snake Charmer. She was a victim too. Each song, yeah, it's literally just about to go. There's a thing for listening to every song. Each song has 3 different main versions, but the lyrics change based on your choices. That makes sense. Which is probably why they haven't managed to, you know, hook. You need a hook in a good song. You got a hook, then, you know, it's that little soundbite that goes into TikTok. Your one or two lines, your catchy riff, something like that. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's actually quite soothing, this. So yeah. Interesting. But yes, we've been collecting some songs.
Well, that was interesting. Now I just have to decide if I believe her.
Hopefully not only her.
Is this the part where you tell me why you really came along?
Only to help, Grace.
Hey, Mr.
To ensure your endeavors here were successful.
We'll see. Thanks for coming.
Anything I can do to help?
That's guilt.
Well then, you have a pressing matter of investigation, and I will leave you to it.
That face says guilt. Hozit, the whatever number we're on now, he gave Calliope the key to access, or the ability to break into the reliquary. Still think she was hiding something in the reliquary. She didn't take anything or touch anything. She hid something there. Who was there that then stabbed / shot / hurt her? Unlikely to be Hecate. I don't think the Minotaur would have, and Medusa's story seemed backed up by the Minotaur to a point. It had to be an idol, because who else could pervert the course of fate? It was written in the book that she would meet Grace, join the band, and she did meet Grace, and she probably was going to be invited to join the band, but then also I can see a cat in the shape of the road, and it's just distracting me. Playing the puzzle game where you, like, you know, recognize shapes of things. So this is all speculation. If you have played the game, because it has been out a little while, like over a year, please don't spoil it. I'm speculating these things. I do not want to know if they're true until they happen in the story. Oh, but talking about music making impact, I don't know if anyone's watching Agatha All Along on Disney Plus, but the episode before the one that just came out this week, the end, the song, chef's kiss. It's not a spoiler. Something happened at the end and it was a really good song, and it was just really the perfect song. We finally have some answers, which is also great. But to be fair, it was what I'd read at the very beginning before the episodes came out that people had predicted, so it wasn't really a surprise. But yeah. You haven't watched any of it? Okay. Well, at the end of episode 7, I think it was, there's a really good song. Hashtag not a spoiler. Like the first episode? I thought the first episode was bloody weird. The first 2 episodes I wasn't a fan of, whereas I have liked the ones after. So I guess each to their own. I liked WandaVision. I enjoyed WandaVision. I kind of forgot to finish the end of She-Hulk. I liked it, but it was the whole releasing every week, and I've literally just watched 4 episodes of Agatha all along, back to back, because I forgot it was out every week. And I did not like the ones with the men that the Disney Plus did. Even with Bucky getting therapy. Just not my vibe. But I apparently need to watch the Doctor Strange Multiverse one. Mainly because I think it follows on from the end of Spider-Man that I enjoyed. And explains some things that I've already read about, but, you know. Go into the beginning of Agatha all along. Because they assume that you've actually seen all the films, which I haven't. They're on Disney Plus, but yeah. I don't know if you can see me, so I'll go bye, and then I will type bye. So there you go. All the methods of trying to. Yeah. Moon Knight. I actually didn't. No, I haven't watched Moon Knight. Sorry, I got mixed up with the other one. I haven't watched Moon Knight. I want to watch it. I kind of forgot that it was a thing. I did look up and see if it did DID, you know, respectfully. And it seemed to be sort of positive-ish that way. So now I've remembered that it exists again, I might watch that. I'm running out of TV because, well, I have been unemployed for 5 months, so I've been watching a lot of television. I'm now watching The Blacklist again for the first 4 seasons. And then, you know, the last half of it. Shrinking. Never heard of it. But yeah, I liked The Blacklist. I've forgotten enough that happened, and I stopped watching after season 4. I think it just became not available where I was streaming it from. It's on Amazon Prime up till like season 6, so that should keep me occupied for, I don't know, a week or so. Yes, I binge watch. I binge watch a lot. Consistently. Because I've always got the TV on, because otherwise I have to listen to the voices in my head. But yeah, I've never heard of Shrinking. You know what? I want to go to Aphrodite's party. Okay, then we'll talk to Freddy before we talk to Persephone. I don't want to lose the opportunity to go to the party. Dr. Odyssey is it's coming soon on Disney Plus in the UK, but it's already started. It's got Joshua Jackson from Dawson's Creek, and I'm like,
Fancy
okay,
party?
that looks
Check.
great.
Bunch of strangers? Check. Grace totally not dressed for the occasion? Check. Now, if only I knew what I was supposed to be doing here.
Grace?
I do not have Apple TV.
You're here.
Yeah, I'm
It's
invited,
one of the ones I don't pay for.
I'm just surprised you even knew it was happening.
I didn't let
Persephone said I should come to this. Whatever this is.
Persephone didn't tell you? Why
Orgy?
am I not surprised?
Funeral. Is it an orgy or a funeral? That doesn't sound
I
good.
don't like the sound of that. What am I missing?
You don't have any of Calliope's memories, right? No deja vu recollections that aren't your own?
No. Should I have?
Not right away. For a while, you won't remember anything. We call it the veil. In time, the veil will start to lift, slowly at first, but eventually you'll remember almost everything Calliope did.
I'm going to go with what happens to me. And also, that'll be a bit too late if they kill me, because I only have a week to find out who killed Calliope. What is Shrinking? Is it a psych thing? Severance? I liked the concept. I got hooked into the idea. I got about 3 episodes in, and the shower scene undid me. Shrinking is a comedy drama. I mean, is it my kind of comedy? Because I'm really specific about the comedy I like. If I don't find it funny, I don't think it's a comedy. But yeah, Severance I really wanted to like, but the shower scene undid me. I really didn't have a clue. It didn't feel like it was coming together in my head, so I might give it another go. But also I don't have Apple TV. I had a free something or other with my with some sort of Apple purchase. But I couldn't get along with Apple TV, Apple Plus, or whatever it's called. It doesn't surface shows very well, and it doesn't just let you, or it didn't let me browse. Shower scene, bathroom scene. It might have been a bathroom scene. It was like 2, 3, max 4 episodes in. He has like a break, and there's blood, I think. I stopped watching it after that. It wasn't connecting with me. Give it another go if I get Apple again. I mean, I am wanting to get a new phone, so they tend to come with that. Yeah, yeah, that's what my friend Daisy was saying. It only has a few good shows, but for me, it didn't surface me anything. People would talk about these shows, and I'd be like, it's not showing me these shows. So why would I pay for it when it doesn't show me the shows? I can't browse the shows, and I don't know how to see these things that people are talking about, because I couldn't remember like the name of it, so I can't just search for it. But I wanted to go by like the thumbnail or whatever. But yeah, wasn't Mythic Quest on Apple TV as well? But yeah, there's a lot of TV. I currently don't have access to all of it because I cut down on my streaming services. I didn't cut down on everything because, you know, I gotta have something to entertain me. But yeah, you need to search, but to search you need the name, and if you don't remember the name and you only remember like vaguely what it looked like or a summary, then it's useless. Is Mythic Quest done? I don't know. I think there was like 3 seasons, possibly 4 seasons. I think it might be finished. I don't know. Also, networks keep on cancelling shows, and that really pees me off. But anyway, what happens to me?
There's gotta be a lot of memories. She was, what, 1,000 years old?
More than that. Much more.
Then what happens to me in my piddly 20-something years? It can't be good.
Eventually, it's like a flood. It becomes difficult to separate what's you and what's them, and all who came before them.
That sounds awful. Will I become Calliope? It's a good question.
You're saying I won't be me. I won't be Grace. Will I start calling myself Calliope?
Maybe. Eventually, most of us do, but most of us were chosen and prepared.
And I didn't choose this.
I understand. Take some time to let it sink in. If you like, we can talk about it later.
What does this have to do with the party?
It's a wake.
Aphrodite hasn't been the same since we came to the New World. She has horrific memories of what she endured during the war. Passing on her eidolon is a way to forget, for a while. That's what this party is for.
Okay, so it's like a pre-wake.
When you say she's gonna pass on her eidolon, you mean...
She's going to die, yes, and pass her soul on to a chosen successor.
In front of everyone?
We're here to help, Grace. To make it easier for Aphrodite to do what she feels she must. We're here to say goodbye. At least for a while.
This isn't the first time Aphrodite's done this. She's held this kind of gathering before, right?
This is her 4th, I think, perhaps 5th.
So every time the veil, whatever you call it, when it starts to lift...
Aphrodite's memories return, and eventually it is too much. We gather to pay our respects.
But, I can imagine.
And to honor the past. Well, she still remembers it.
Wait. Persephone said Calliope always refused to come to these parties.
She refused on principle. Everything Calliope did was on principle. She believed Aphrodite was indulging her sadness, wallowing in it. She thought Aphrodite should try harder. It was a point of contention between them. Aphrodite will be grateful you're here. Trust me.
Do you support
what Aphrodite is doing here?
It's not my choice to make, Grace.
Yeah, but you must have an opinion.
Eventually, you will remember what we experienced during the war, and eventually you will remember that what Aphrodite experienced was far worse. If this is the mercy she requires, I will not tell her she should not take it.
I get
Okay,
it.
so what did Aphrodite want Calliope to do? What does she want me to do?
Well, knowing Aphrodite, she'll want you to make a production of it all. She's not here just yet. Until she arrives, I suggest mingling.
Yeah, because we're so good at that. It's
Mingling.
not going to be awkward at all.
Yeah, mingling. Talk to Eros. Or we can talk more if you like. Just try to relax, Grace.
Sure, yeah. Relax. That's what this party is for, right?
Let's go talk to Eros then, because everyone has to just experience the yummy that is Eros. I mean, look at that.
Grace!
Hey, Eros. Nice to...
Oh, we're getting a hug. We probably needed that.
Oh,
I can hear my
okay.
spine clicking.
Aphrodite will be so happy you're here. It means so much, you have no idea.
Oh, and Aphrodite's his mum.
Are you okay? You seem a bit...
Every time she does this, I don't know how to handle it. I almost want to run upstairs and demand she stop. Remind her that this never works. Sorry, I shouldn't unload on you. It's been a bad
I
week.
feel like she needs a therapist to deal with her grief and her PTSD, her complex PTSD. Because this is it's a sticky tape. It's a sticky plaster over a gaping wound. A band-aid solution. A crutch. Processing the trauma and trying to move through it. Not erase it. Or ignore it. Pretend it doesn't exist. It's a healthier way of dealing. There are a lot healthier ways of dealing, but then, you know, what do I know about the gods and war? I know it was pretty brutal. And I imagine there was betrayal. But effectively, you know, lobotomizing yourself, giving yourself amnesia, it's self-harm. It's a form of self-harm. And I do feel for him, but that's not an option to say right now. And it's not
From
okay.
the sounds of it, this happens a lot.
Every 20 years or so. That's how long she can hold out until she just can't stand it anymore. Every time, Aphrodite forgets. At least for a while. But I don't. I remember everything. I'm there for the nightmares, the panic attacks, the days she doesn't even remember the war's over. And now I'm arranging her gathering again, so she can die again. And I'll watch it all again.
Question? None of our business.
Is it okay if I ask what happened? I don't mean to pry, but I'm new. I really don't
He
know.
also needs therapy.
I know, but it happened to Aphrodite, not me. It's not my story to tell.
They need couples, but, you know, like family therapy. What
If I know what she was dealing with, I might be able to help.
Could you? I suppose it wouldn't hurt.
We could sing it out.
What happened is that Brother Ares happened. He missed out on the first world-spanning war, you see, so he was damned if he'd miss out on the next one. He found some
jackbooted mortals, so full of themselves and their supremacy. And he told them about the idols. Then they came for us. Took us completely by surprise. Some they killed, but Aphrodite, her they captured.
Of course they did.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Aphrodite was captured, but she's here now. So she must have escaped.
She didn't. Do you know the name Hephaestus?
Yep.
Wasn't he a smith of some kind? Giant hammer, lived in a mountain.
Husband.
Some of that is mortal fancy, but yes. He was Aphrodite's husband.
Disabled.
And he adored her beyond reason. When he found out the mortals were torturing her, he went mad. He was determined to save her.
It was a punishment.
Wait, they tortured her?
Nothing extreme, I'm told. They were too frightened, but they were also determined to wring every last secret out of her. So, who knows how long that fear would have lasted. Thus, Hephaestus made a deal.
With the, jackbooted guys.
No, with their enemies. That's what saved her.
Then this deal is how Aphrodite survived.
It's how we all survived. It's what brought us to the new world. Hephaestus saved us all. We never saw him again. That was the deal. He would leave, make their precious weapons, and never look back. Aphrodite never even got to say goodbye. It's funny, because Aphrodite didn't even like Hephaestus when they were married.
What's the punishment?
She seemed to resent every minute they were together. But now he's all she can think about.
Is there no other way? Does Aphrodite really need to...
To die? I've asked that so many times. She's tried magic, drugs, psychotherapy, meditation, everything we could possibly think of.
She's tried
that.
For
a while, she'll deny anything's wrong. It all seems fine, and I start to hope. Maybe this time will be different. Then the nightmares begin, and the memories return. More with each passing day until...
Maybe this time...
I hate it, but I see her agony. I can't deny her this.
You'll stay.
Maybe I just don't understand, but... Isn't this... like, suicide?
Some of the idols have committed suicide. They let themselves die without passing on their eidolon.
What happens?
What you'd expect. They're gone. Forever. Mother says she can't do that. She won't. Not until she sees Hephaestus again, I suspect.
Ooh, could we find
Not
Hephaestus
that
for them?
What's happening here is anything casual. She still has to die. For a while.
I want to help. I mean, obviously I am arrogant enough that I think that I am immortal who just became an idol.
What is my part in all of this? I'll help if I can.
Aphrodite loves drama. She always has. She wants us here to... well, to remember. To celebrate our history. She'll ask you to use your power as part of the celebration. Could you use it to inspire her?
I can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to, Eros.
That's not what I'm asking. I believe that deep down, she doesn't want to do this any longer. She must see it isn't working. She just needs the strength to try. Or I hope that's all she needs.
I will do my best.
I'll try, if you think it'll do some good.
I don't know if it will. I just find it hard to believe it could get any worse.
Famous last words.
Famous last words.
Tell me about it. Do whatever you think is right, Grace. And
The belt buckle looked like Poseidon's trident, and now I realise it's Cupid's bow and arrow, but... let's talk to Apollo then. I mean, I choose not to take public transport when I can, but I also choose to take it because I care about the environment.
For as long as I can remember, I've known them.
Take public transport and not care about the environment.
Yet sometimes I feel like I don't know any of them at all. Or they me.
You don't enjoy these family gatherings, do you?
Are they family gatherings? Like the sort mortals have?
You call each other sister and brother and mother.
Well, yes, but...
And you've been together like 100 times longer than I lived with my family. All you're missing is a drunk uncle everyone has to apologize for.
That would be Pan.
Not Dionysus?
But yes, I feel very much out of place.
Why is that exactly? Wouldn't you feel more like you belonged after 1,000 years together?
Is your assumption that all those centuries bring great wisdom?
No.
Don't they?
Familiarity breeds contempt.
We have more to forget. We hold grudges longer, but wiser. No. Not so far.
I spoke to Eros. He's pretty broken up over all this.
Oh, poor Eros. Each new successor, his hopes rise up once more. And then he watches the new Aphrodite crumble. Piece by piece. Only to start all over again. It's so different from the olden days. Once he was the eternal disaster, and Aphrodite kept constant vigil over him.
Maybe he feels like he owes her.
I think he's followed her into a dark void, and somewhere, deep down, believes he deserves no better.
I should get back out there.
Okay. Wait for Aphrodite then. Maybe this time I'll be happy. Maybe this time you'll stay. Ooh.
My family.
Ooh, is the lovely lady in the
Having you all here, gathered once again to see me off, it moves me. More than I can say. My loves, my darlings, my dearest friends. And you. Oh, my dear sweet thing. I dare not hope that you, with all your troubles, might sing me to my sleep.
Oh, maybe this is the new person that
Yet
she's
here
going to
you
move
are.
into.
Yet here she is. Huh.
It's lovely to meet you, Aphrodite. Properly, this time.
Ah, yes. Poor Calliope. Such a loss to us all. I shall miss her dearly. To have come so far, only... No, it doesn't bear thinking about. It's too much.
Is this Grace, my lady? The new muse?
Oh! What manners I have. Grace, Grace. Meet the lovely mortal woman who shall tonight become the new me.
Hi, my name's Venus, and yes, it really is Venus. Nice to meet you, Grace.
Yeah, hi. Nice to meet you.
We'll both be new at this, huh? Maybe we could get together and compare notes if you,
Survive my trial?
Yeah. Lady Aphrodite told me. I shouldn't have brought that up. I'm sorry.
There will be so much time for you lovelies to speak later. Now, we must prepare for my departure.
Are you sure we can't talk first? I really need your help, Aphrodite.
I know you do, my dear. I wish I could be there for you, but I'm afraid my time is up. But since you've shown such kindness in coming, I will ask Eros to make himself available to you afterwards. There's nothing I know that he does not. He is my son, my truest friend, my longest love.
Won't he be... a little distracted?
Eros has been through this before, Grace. He knows what must be done.
I want to talk you out of this.
I was hoping I could talk you out of it, actually. Oh, forgive my saying so, but you seem fine.
That was the wrong thing to say.
Yes, it might seem that way. Well, tell me, Grace, why should I let you try to talk me out of this,
Because it doesn't help.
Because Eros loves you? Do you have any idea what this puts him through?
I do know. I wish I could convince dearest Eros to find his own way, but he refuses to leave my side. My pain is his pain. The respite I seek is as much his as it is mine. Even so, tonight is not about the pain. It is about honoring the memory of what was while that memory still persists. Go, enjoy the gathering, Grace. Tell me when you're ready to begin.
Talk to Venus first.
I want to apologize again, Grace. I really messed up. It looks like I'll be doing that a lot. Lady Aphrodite said I'm ready, but I don't know.
Having second thoughts? If so, now's probably the time to mention it.
I would never do that to Lady Aphrodite. I'm just nervous.
That's understandable.
If I can ask, what does it feel like after it happens? Do you feel different?
I'm not sure. It happened so fast, I didn't know what to think. Calliope died, and then all this happened.
You didn't remember anything? About her? Who she was? She was just gone?
Yeah. Isn't that the point of all this?
I just wanted to be sure. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it could be real.
How do you know Aphrodite exactly?
So I was working at this homeless shelter, right? A couple of years ago, and she came in with one of the older residents. And she was there in this, like, amazing dress. And she's sitting with this guy and really listening to him. Like, they were old friends or something. I just thought, what is someone like her doing in a place like this? So, I just went over and introduced myself.
That's it? Just like that?
Yeah. She came back to the shelter a few times, but by then, I guess she'd taken an interest in me instead.
Are you really
It's
okay
really easy
with all this?
and quick.
You know what's gonna
I
happen,
did it on
right?
PC actually.
I saw a lot of people in crisis at the shelter. I knew something was wrong with Lady Aphrodite. She's in so much pain, Grace. She won't let you see how much. Eros called me one night desperate. She wouldn't stop screaming. She didn't know where she was. She's a good person, Grace. A good soul. She deserves mercy.
Your name's really Venus, huh?
Everybody asks me that. Even the other idols. Maybe that's why Lady Aphrodite noticed me in the first place. She says it was fated to be. I say it's because my mama was a diehard hippie.
Venus is a different name for Aphrodite.
But don't you feel this is wrong? I mean, you're ending your life. It's like some kind of murder-suicide pact.
I don't think of it like that. Lady Aphrodite is not committing suicide, and I'm not being murdered.
Aren't you? Your life is ending. It's being taken over, swallowed up by Aphrodite's grief.
I'm becoming part of something bigger. Something amazing. Or maybe you're right. It'll be terrible, and I'll end up in so much pain I'll regret it.
So why go through with it?
Because Lady Aphrodite needs me. Maybe, just maybe, if I'm added into the mix of all the people she's been, maybe things will be different.
Back again.
I don't think I'll have a chance to talk to Aphrodite. Not before, you know.
Not surprising. Surely Persephone must have realized that.
How? She's never been to one of these things. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'd do now.
You have two choices, Grace. Either you do as she asks and sing her to her rest,
At which point Venus won't have Aphrodite's memories yet.
or you somehow convince her to remain with us and hope she's grateful.
And doesn't regret it. Or get angry at me for ruining her party.
Do what you feel is right. It's a risk either way.
Have you spoken with Venus? She seems really...
Nice, earnest, a genuinely good person.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's not an accident. Ever since the war, Aphrodite has sought out the kindest, the most innocent souls to be her successors. She chooses them because she believes that over time, it might make her a better person. A more worthy person.
Wouldn't it be better if she chose people who were, I don't know, more resilient?
I suppose that depends on your definition of strength, Grace.
I should get back out there.
I would say someone that has to deal with ableist crap like that all day is pretty resilient. I need answers, but if this is what she needs to do, I don't know. I like a dress though.
I have tried so hard, fought for so long, but in the end, I must bid you all farewell once again. But before I go, I would like us all to remember the sacrifices that brought us here, to this strange new world. This time, it is with the help of our lovely muse that we shall be guided. We let them rise. We let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong.
It is just very quiet.
Since the beginning we were hidden. We held court from up above. 'Twas the golden age of reason, and I the queen of love. But a plague of hate was spreading, and there were vultures standing by. Before we fell to our knees begging, we fell from the sky. We let them rise, we let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong, we were wrong. We sought shelter from the shadows, but were soon ripped from the dark. Those mortal souls that ended us were jealous from the start. They hunted me for power to fuel their psychopathic cause. And once they fell before me and worshipped all I was, they chased me down and threw me in a cage, held me prisoner for so long. I thought I'd win their hearts again.
There's logicking in this one.
I was wrong. I see you have the power. It's a poisonous reward. My virtues only scorn me when I was once adored. Loved by every mortal, then ripped from paradise. was a joke when it was said to me. He struck a deal with our enemy's enemy. Made a secret weapon so my captors let me go. He gave up his freedom, leaving just a memory. And this love I'll never know is what he gave to me.
I can see everything, it's interesting why you feel so blue. Because of the horror show from long ago, there ain't no getting through. A husband who sacrificed and paid the price for you to be free. Wherever he is right now, you'd think somehow that...
Excuse me.
Sorry, I'm on a roll. I don't pretend to know the mind of a god. That's something I never thought I'd say. I'm not the only one here who wants to know. Is leaving now the only way to go?
I'm confused. Who are you? Thank you for sharing, little one. You're 80 years overdue. Now take your seat, you've had your fun. I think you'll find I'm a god. Making note of the staggering lack of help. And so no matter what you think you know, this ceremony is the only way to go. Apologies for the inappropriateness of the style that we're in. Nevertheless, let's push on and introduce to you all everybody's hero, Venus. She's my protector, and soon you will see. In just a moment, I won't be me anymore. No memory of war, in love like before, and you'll be adored. You cannot ignore, it's the only way to go.
You're letting them beat you again and again.
Only way to go.
Now look at your family, surrounded by friends.
It's the only.
I guess whatever you choose, it's so not the end.
So much
I don't know what to
said
do.
in silence,
She's
it's
onto you.
timeless, it's precious sympathy. Can
know
we,
anything,
all
a
honestly,
smattering.
modestly take a seat and breathe? 'Cause I'm that kind of a god. Prepare the girl for precious cargo. Just mad about their tragic puppet show. As my memory erases, so will all your faces. Oblivion's the only way to go. The
I wish I could have
only way to go.
But I didn't. I made my choice.
Are you...
I'm fine. I'm still myself. I thought there'd be something more, that I feel her presence, but she's just gone.
She'll be back. But she'll also be you. She'll be different.
Maybe she'll be able to cope. Yeah.
I'll try to be ready. I promise.
I'm really sorry, Eros. I know you wanted me to convince Aphrodite to change her mind, but...
It's all right. There's no convincing her, was there?
She didn't have the strength to fight any longer. At least, now she can rest.
I suppose that's true. Before we go, Aphrodite told me you wanted her help to learn about Calliope's death. I'm not my mother, but maybe there's something I can tell you. Do you have any suspects yet?
I have a theory. A dancing demon.
Not exactly, but it has to be an idol. One with
Something isn't right
influence.
here.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
It had to be someone who knew Calliope and wanted her gone, with enough knowledge and power to fool the chorus. It also had to be someone who could get into the reliquary and attack her there, right under the noses of both Hecate and the Minotaur.
Athena's looking very, likely at this point.
Calliope came to see Aphrodite and I that night. She was agitated, frightened even, but she wouldn't explain why. She said she had a plan. That must have been the reliquary.
A plan? A plan for what? What could she find at the reliquary that would help her?
Maybe she wanted a weapon. Something to defend herself with.
Nah, she was hiding something.
If only we'd known she was going to the reliquary. How on earth did she even get in?
That's got to be Pan.
She used the key, the one Pan gave her.
Yep.
When Calliope arrived, she dropped it. Then she laughed and said she'd better not lose it because Pan won't give me another key to the reliquary. I didn't know it was important.
Well, there's your help, Grace. I certainly don't know more than that. Come now, Venus. It's been a long night. I'll get you home.
Thank you for everything, Grace. Truly. It was a wonderful song.
I tried.
So, did they have anything helpful?
It just doesn't make sense. Pan sent me to the reliquary. If he's involved, why would he do that?
Well, maybe he was hoping you could prove his innocence if you found out what happened there.
I guess. Aren't you the one who first said he was probably guilty?
Worth investigating still. Are you all right, Grace? You seem troubled.
I'm worried. I don't feel like I'm any closer to the truth.
Aren't you? Even after learning about Pan?
I can't help feeling I'm on the wrong track somehow. Maybe it's just nerves.
I assume you'll be on your way then?
Yeah, I should probably check in.
Give my regards to Persephone when you see her.
Power, access.
Apollo. Always so dramatic. Well done, by the way. And cheers to you, Aphrodite. You shall be missed.
Hey, Dan and Milo.
For a few years, at least.
I still don't know if I did the right thing.
Well, it was never up to you, Grace. The choice has always been Aphrodite's. She's been in hell since the war. And you were only a visitor. I remember the last time I passed on my Eidolon. 1952. I was married to, well, I'd say you'd call him a gangster. More of a thug. A mean, vicious little thug. Persephone saved me from him. Tore his head clean off. But not before he fired a shotgun into her chest. My chest? Whatever.
Do you remember who you were before?
I still am her. Chastity, that is. You can see why I switched names. I remember being disgusted I was ever that weak. Persephone made me strong. But it never really goes away. We all have our sordid history, our personal horrors, building up like sediment around our souls. You can't let it bury you, Grace. You are the only one who can keep your head afloat.
How you doing? You're incredible. I'll be fine. Thanks for the advice. That's pretty harsh. I do not want to flirt. We're doing a romanceless. I can't select that one.
Okay, yeah. Good to know. Thanks.
At any rate, it's good that you found out about Pan. I can't say I'm surprised. Perhaps you'll want to talk to him, but either way, give me some time to plan our next move. Meanwhile, whatever you get up to, do be careful.
Pan felt guilty because he gave Calliope the key. I don't think his involvement is more than that. I'm talking to Freddy. I feel like we're near the end of the act.
Hey, so what's the news, Miss Muse?
Miss Muse?
Well, does a muse have a proper form of address? I just want to hear what exciting adventures you've been having.
Well, I went to a party held by the goddess of love, and she died.
Man, I always miss the really good parties. Here I was, sitting at home, just reading a book.
Take the book to the party.
Everything else okay, though? Do we know who the killer is yet?
Not just yet, no.
Okay, well, let me know if there's anything I can do. If I have to hustle to become your high priestess, well, so be it.
What are Kaz and Brian up to? You didn't tell them anything, did you?
Oh, I told them you came home, that you're okay, but that you're having a moment. They send their love.
Should we tell them, do you think?
What for? They have their own problems. Plus, Brian can't keep a secret to save his life, and Kaz is officially homeless.
Is he still crashing on Brian's couch?
Grace, you do know that Brian doesn't have a couch, right? Just some giant beanbag things?
Then where is Kaz
Yeah, it's cute. They'll tell us when they're ready. But right now, it's best just to not mix them up in this.
It's the appropriate use of... That's gay. Dusty old trail home. Travel safe, Jesse. Travel safe.
I should really apologize about the band. This kind of puts a dent in your plans, doesn't it?
You're right, Grace. How dare you sabotage my dreams? I am so mad I could spit.
You know what I mean. Nobody could have seen this coming, sure, but it's always been something with me.
Well, as I see it, there are two ways this goes down. One, neither of us gets back to the band. It was just a thing we did for a while before I founded a cult in your name. Or two, we get back to it and the band now has the Muse as its lead singer. Edge of Elysium becomes the coolest and most appropriate band name ever.
I love it so much.
I still really hate that name.
Look, Grace, you can't be the source of all the drama and name the band, okay? That's the rule.
Exactly how much do you know about the Greek gods, Freddy?
I know my Greek mythology, but what I've read clearly doesn't line up with who they are today. Or who they ever were, maybe.
Still might be useful. There's gotta be some truth to those stories, right?
Maybe. Who do you want to hear about?
What about Apollo?
Okay, so the prophecy stuff checks out. Apollo was god of the sun and light, but also kind of enlightenment in general. He's always talked about as this beautiful and cultured god involved with the arts and the muses, kind of a Renaissance man before the Renaissance.
He's clearly had a rough time since those days.
Well, he was also a giant horn dog, Grace. I can list off like a dozen men and women Apollo has had as lovers, and there's probably more.
Weren't they all like that, though?
I mean, Apollo's no Zeus. He never assaulted anyone as a swan. And no, they aren't all like that. Our sun god had a reputation.
Tell me what you know about Persephone.
Honestly, she's the least like her stories. Usually, she's either a victim or just the wife of Hades, or both.
And that's it? She was kidnapped by Hades, end of story?
Pretty much. Her mother was so angry, she created winter. But otherwise, Persephone was just your average sweet and virginal fertility goddess.
You're right.
Average
that
fertility
doesn't sound
goddess.
like her at all.
Must be hard to be defined by this one thing that happened to you thousands of years ago. I'd be pissed if everyone thought my story ended there.
Well, she is pretty pissed. That much is true. You said Pan was some kind of lust god, right?
Kind of. Pan's a god of the wild, and I guess that translates into sort of lustfulness and earthiness, humping nymphs in the forest sort of thing.
And you don't like him.
Honestly, he's exactly what I'd expect him to be. All the stories say he's a lech and a beast. The Christians equated him with the devil. Weirdly, he's also the only god who's supposed to have died, though it's never really clear how or why. Anyhow, there's a great statue depicting Pan having sex with a goat. Next time you see him, you gotta ask him about it.
No. No. Ask about
Do you know
Calliope.
anything about the Muses? Or Calliope in particular?
Yeah, for starters, there were supposed to be 9, though I guess there are some sources that said there were only 4, maybe 3. Each of the muses had her specialty. Did you know that Calliope is supposed to be the muse of epic poetry? She inspired the Odyssey.
Wow. I don't even like poetry.
Yeah, it was said her singing
Threads That
voice
Bind
was
is a really good modern
unmatched.
retelling of the Muses.
They got that part right, at least.
Did she also lead the ancient Greeks in giant choreographed dance numbers?
No, but she once turned a bunch of snobby princesses into magpies, so there's that.
Not heard that myth. Athena, goddess of the
What about
arena.
Athena? Is she really supposed to be the goddess of wisdom?
Sure, but mostly that's meant as tactical knowledge. Athena wasn't all sweetness and light. She was a warrior goddess. She was also the goddess of heroes. There are loads of stories where Athena helps guys like Odysseus or Jason or Perseus.
No female heroes back in those days?
Yeah, guess not. Women were the weaker sex, which maybe is why Athena was portrayed as being vindictive. She cursed
That and
Medusa,
Hera.
one of her own priestesses. She turned people into spiders, struck them blind, started the Trojan War. It's the whole thing.
Not being as wise as advertised is on brand for her then.
Spiders, the Weaver. Giant spider. What's the name I'm thinking? It was in a Tom Clancy book. You leave a flaw in any weaving so as not to anger Aphrodite. Oh, the name is escaping me. See if I can Google Aphrodite Weaver Spider. Whether it'll give me the name I want. Ariadne. Interestingly, like arachnid. Oh no, sorry, Athena to a weaving contest. Sorry, not Aphrodite. Challenged her to a weaving contest. Ask about
Just how many of these gods are there? From what I've heard, lots of idols live around here.
Well, there are tons of minor gods in Greek mythology, hundreds even, depending on how you define them. Oddly, there's never any mention of the word idols in relation to them. Maybe it's like how people worshipped idols?
I sort of assumed it was related to the eidolon.
Which is a Greek word, but I think it means ghost. An image of someone after they die.
Makes sense.
Me? I'm more amazed at all the big names missing. Not just Zeus and Hades, most of the Olympians seem to be gone. Makes you think about what's been lost. But also, what might still be out there.
You think there might be other gods out there?
Well, there are all those gods the idols say wandered off. We don't know they're dead
still
for
Hephaestus
sure,
possibly
right? They could be
somewhere.
living it up in Australia. Who would know? Then there are all the other mythologies, hundreds of cultures, each with their own pantheon. So what's so special about the Greeks? That only their gods are real, right? All those other pantheons could be living in secrecy, just like the idols. And that means they're hidden from each other, too. Oh, they could be everywhere and no one would know.
It's like a whole other secret side to the world.
Yeah, it's cool, right? I hope I get to meet Ganesha one day. Or maybe Lakshmi?
That's one of the premises in Percy Jackson, is that the Greeks and the Romans, they're actually the same gods, just a different side. And then there's a whole weird little rivalry thing going on. But yeah, it's like Zeus is also Jupiter. Jupiter's just a different name. It's like an alter ego type situation. Like Neptune and Poseidon, Pluto, Hades, Minerva and Athena, Venus and Aphrodite.
I wonder how much of those stories are true.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm giving you the quick version. There are reams of textbooks out there covering all this, but even they rarely agree with each other.
Yeah, it's because it's myths and legends.
Nothing definitive?
Stars and Aries, yes.
Ancient Greece was 3,000 years ago, Grace. Not much information survived all that time, if it was even valid to begin with.
You know what I find weird? That the idols have managed to remain completely secret all these years. Sure, they have magic and whatnot, but in all this time, nobody's found them out? Athena is that good?
Who says nobody has found them out? The way I see it, it's like UFOs.
Okay, I have to hear this.
Okay, so you could have real evidence that UFOs exist and that governments have covered it up and people still wouldn't believe it. Why? Because they'd get laughed at if they admitted it. Imagine the headline, Greek gods exist and are living among us. What website would even run that?
Weird conspiracy ones. Yeah, you're right. Okay, that's enough questions for now.
You sure? I can talk all day. You know I can.
I'll check back with you soon, Freddy. Time for more mystery solving.
I think we just try and talk to Persephone again. And then go back to the apartment. Hey, Ashlyn!
You've returned. I'm glad. I've had time to do some thinking. After Aphrodite's party, we never really spoke about the Eidolon and Calliope's memories. No doubt you have many questions.
Apollo told me a little about it. He did say I should talk to you, though.
Did he now? Is there anything you'd like to ask?
When all these memories start to return, will I feel different?
First, you'll have dreams. Places you've never been, people you've never met. But unlike with normal dreams, these will linger. Then they will come while you're awake. Sudden flashes or snippets of déjà vu. And sometimes it will seem so real you'll swear you're hallucinating. If there's anything difficult about the process, is that it becomes hard to differentiate between your life and all these other lives you're now recalling.
It does sound confusing.
Confusing and often unpleasant, as not all the memories will be fond ones. But that will pass in time.
Greek Roman pantheons. If you get deja vu, you might be... No, I mean, I don't know. You could be Dan. And Ashlyn, no, I was... Well, I mean, yes, we were talking with our roommate about, you know, the fact that it probably is not just the Greek pantheon of gods that exist, though that is what's focused on in this story, that, you know, other religions, other gods, you know, other pantheons exist and are just hidden from society. And then I was said, well, in Percy Jackson, the whole Greek Roman thing, it's like two sides to the same coin. And then we were just naming pairs of gods. So that was where we went. It went from Stray Gods, the role-playing musical, to Percy Jackson, which is a great series. I have not watched the new TV show, but I have read all the books. I like the film mainly because it had the guy that plays the in Grey's Anatomy as Poseidon, and I kind of like him. But I know the TV show is supposed to be good. I haven't watched it. So that's how we were doing, why we got into that. But yes, I mean, anything's a possibility, Dan. I wouldn't dismiss things outright. Well, I mean, some things I might if they're really silly. But most things, you know, it is possible. It is possible you are actually a Greek god and you just don't have your memory back yet.
You said it becomes hard to differentiate your life from the others. How hard, exactly? It'll still be me, right?
Oh, how do I explain this? Grace, would you say that you are who you are because of your experiences? The things you've lived and done?
I guess so, sure.
Well, all the things Calliope has done, and those before her, will now be yours. They will feel like a part of your life as well. Thus, they can't help but shape you. The Grace that is now will be and will have done so much more. Fortunately, you don't have to deal with every memory. Each time the Eidolon passes on, the oldest memories fade, and that helps.
I had a year's subscription to Disney Plus, so as it hadn't expired yet, I still have access to it, and so I'm watching stuff before it goes away. I like that it has all the Star stuff on there, so it feels like a really good value for money. And I get stuff like, only like 4 weeks after it comes out in the US instead of having to wait like 4 years or never. It's one of those capitalism is a thing that I will wrestle with, but my nibbling's like, Frozen, and I originally got Disney Plus for them. It's like the small childies. But no worries, look away. I probably will be finishing soonish, seeing as it's 11 o'clock here at night. I'm just waiting for the end of the acts, which feels like it might be soonish. But thanks for popping by. Appreciate it. Hope you get your stuff done.
Wait, how is it good that old memories start to fade?
Think of how old we are, Grace. If all those memories returned to you with perfect clarity, they would destroy you.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean you've all forgotten so much?
Well, far more than we remember. The further I think back, the more it becomes a bit of a blur, actually. You'll recall important moments. Some will be mixed up with the stories mortals tell, and you won't be sure which is the memory and which is the story. An idol's memory is a series of islands in a dark ocean, and they become smaller and smaller as they recede into the horizon. It sounds dire, but you become accustomed to it. It just takes time, and now you have all the time in the world.
How many times have you died? Can I ask that?
We call it passing on. I've lost track of just how many times I've passed on my Eidolon. A dozen? It's happened less often in more recent eras.
And the one you told me about, the woman married to that gangster, she was the most recent?
I don't think of Chastity as a she. That was me, just as the one my husband blasted with a shotgun was also me. It was one of the few times I wasn't able to prepare my successor. We were friends, yes, but I didn't know what Persephone was, and I had no idea what I'd just become.
That must have been difficult.
It was more difficult taking over my dead husband's territory. Women weren't often mobsters in those days.
Were you really a gangster? I've heard it said, but it sounds
plausible to me.
Let me put it this way. I felt as if I'd been blessed by a dying woman who saved me from a prison of my own making. I didn't know what I was, but I was free. I felt more alive than I'd ever felt before, and strong enough to toss an ox 10 feet. Did I set out to become a mobster? Not exactly. My husband's friends thought I'd murdered him, however, so they came after me. And one thing led to another.
Oh, I see.
Athena found me just as my memories were starting to return. I wasn't permitted to continue doing something so noticeable, so I was carted off to Olympus. It's too bad, really. I was an excellent mobster.
I'm sure you were.
Wait, you said that Persephone passed on her Eidolon as she lay dying. What if she had just died?
The Eidolon will keep us alive for a time, even in the most horrific circumstances, in hopes that there's someone to pass it on to.
What if there isn't? What if Chastity had died before you were shot?
Well, then the line of Persephone would have ended then and there. Oh, there are some stories that say an Eidolon will go wandering, that it never really dies. And who knows if there's any truth to that. It's not exactly something we've had the opportunity to study. All we know is that many idols have left us forever. They've died, and that's how it happens.
It's a lot to consider. Assuming I'll even have time to worry about it, what with the trial coming.
Either the trial will end poorly, in which case all of this is moot, or it will end well, and you will have plenty of time to digest.
Yeah, thanks for the update.
I'm a realist, Grace. It's what I'm best at. Now then, unless you've something else to ask.
Tell me more about Calliope. You and her were good friends, right?
We were.
And
if you had told me a decade ago that I would become close to one of the muses, I would have laughed in your face. I always considered them Apollo's creatures. Calliope, Cleo, and Talia. Vapid, frivolous gods who handed off their eidolon to any artist who took their fancy. Every time I met one of them, they were someone else. Apollo called them the Sisters of Beauty, no matter their gender. Can you imagine that? That's such a stupid name.
I never thought of that. Do idols change gender a lot?
Well, we tend to seek out successors like ourselves, but it happens. With the muses, it happened frequently. Everywhere
kinda like
Apollo
Loki
went,
changed
they
genders,
surrounded him like a gaggle of ducklings, just like him to gather his own fans.
If you disliked the muses so much, how did you end up becoming friends with Calliope?
She sought me out. She'd become more and more unhappy on Olympus, so she decided to leave just as I had, long before. Calliope asked for my help, and I laughed in her face. Go ask one of your sycophant mortals, I told her. I mean, surely one of them has some threadbare couch you can sleep on.
Wow.
Typically, she was undeterred. She didn't just want a place to stay. She said she wanted to learn how to be truly independent from an idol who had mastered it. What can I say? I mean, I am a sucker for a well-timed compliment. I took her in. Apollo was furious. He and Calliope were barely speaking, but he was certain she'd come crawling back to Olympus. Oh, it made taking her in all the sweeter.
After you took Calliope in, that's when you became friends?
Well, no, not right away. I wasn't looking for a friend. What I was looking for was an opening act in the club. Calliope entertained here for years, and then eventually turned from performing to attracting new acts. She was in her element. She and I, we warmed up to each other eventually. She was more capable than I expected, and I adored her furious rants.
Calliope didn't seem like the furious type when I met her. That's hard to picture.
Oh, then you didn't really meet her. She was an idealist, and nobody could ever quite live up to her standards for very long. Her brothers and sisters, least of all. The idols needed to change, she said. They were withering away in the shadows, diminished and unwilling to save their own skins. When I joined the chorus, she expected me to change everything, as if I could single-handedly override Athena. I was to be her champion, and together we would bring revolution to the idols. Well, I was yet another disappointment. She left the club, but I gave her a place to live. We were supposed to stay in touch, but you know how it went from there.
What happened to the other muses? You mentioned 2 others. Were they lost in the war?
One of them was, though not like you think. The day we were to leave on the ship, Talia simply never showed up.
Do you know what happened to her?
We never heard from her again. Apollo thrashed about in mourning, but, Talia had been fading away for years. It wasn't a surprise to the rest of us.
What about the other muse, Cleo?
Died long before. A victim at the hands of a mortal man, when she no longer possessed the power to bedazzle him. As I understand it, he kept her in a cage as a pet until her eidolon shriveled up and perished. He was dead before she was.
Ugh, that's pretty dark.
Yes, well, we come by our wariness of mortals honestly, Grace.
Yeah. The world might perish without inspiration, though. Surely it
Are
needs
you
the
willing to
muses.
talk about Hades? If you don't want to, that's fine. I'm just
Incredibly curious how I ended up murdering my husband.
that, yeah.
You know, one might think that my hatred of Hades began when he kidnapped me and forced me to be his bride. But honestly, that wasn't it. I hated my brothers and sisters for letting it happen, but Hades himself terrified me. He had a presence. I mean, one that forever made him the most important man in the room. And me? Oh, I was nothing in comparison. When Hades began doting on me, trying to earn my favor, I swooned that he might deign to think of me that way. For centuries, I actually thought I was in love, that the kidnapping was the best thing that ever happened to me. It's funny how our perspectives change.
If you got along with Hades for so long, what changed?
I did. I grew up. I was a trophy for Hades, a conquest that he expected to remain meek and unchanging forever. He went out of his way to keep me small. I slowly realized that, he'd always been that way. Manipulation and arrogance behind the handsome sneer. We battled for centuries. I hated him, and I told him so, but he refused to part with me. He declared that I was his and would stay in the underworld where I belonged.
And that's when you killed him?
That's when I killed him, yes. The first time one idol had ever murdered another. Thank you very much.
I'm guessing the other idols weren't thrilled with you killing Hades.
Well, yeah, they didn't know what to do with me. And Athena was furious that the most powerful remaining idol had been lost. See, this was before the war and before all the new rules. The chorus had never once contemplated execution, but they certainly considered it then. In the end, they decided it was better to humiliate me. They ensured I did not benefit from Hades' murder, and stripped the throne I had wrested from his grasp.
Which you weren't happy about.
I asked them where they were all those years while I pleaded for help. I was held captive, and what was I expected to do? What, lie down and take it forever because Hades was more useful to them alive? No. I stopped doing what was expected of me the day I slit his throat. May he rot in Tartarus with the Titans for all eternity.
How did you go from ruling the underworld to opening a nightclub named after it?
I won it in a bet with Dionysus, god of merriment.
Okay, there has to be a story there.
Dionysus?
Well, the story is that he was a fool, but a charming one with many patrons. They built him a nightclub as his personal playground. And it was a grand old time for Dionysus in the 1970s, I assure you, but he didn't know how to run a business. By the time disco was ready to die, so was his stupid club. So I offered to make it profitable. If I succeeded, he would turn ownership over to me. He accepted because, frankly, all he wanted to do was drink anyhow. I was successful. The club became mine, and I kicked Dionysus out for never paying his tab.
Sucks to be him.
Dionysus ever sobers up, he might decide to be sore about it, but so far, that hasn't happened.
What's the deal between you and Apollo? The way you two fight.
I've told you how he and the other idols stood by and let me rot with Hades, did I not?
It seems more personal than that.
Okay, there's an old saying that no one escapes the underworld. But that's not true. I did. Once. Not long after Hades kidnapped me. I was homesick, and I missed my mother. Corone took pity on me and allowed me across the Styx. And after that, Grace, I waded through darkness itself to get out of there. Hades chased after me relentlessly, but I evaded him, right up until I got to the very slopes of Olympus. And who do you suppose was the first idol I met?
Uh-oh.
Apollo stood there. I cried out to him, begging him not to let Hades take me, and yet Apollo did as he has always done. Absolutely nothing. Hades was thrilled, and I knew then and there I could never rely on my so-called family for anything, ever again.
I'd like to know a little more about the idols. I am one now, right?
What constitutes a little more in this instance?
Well, what are we? Where did we come from? If an idol is a soul that moves from person to person, it must have started somewhere, right?
Ah, the big question. To which the answer is, nobody knows. I remember the original Persephone only vaguely. Indeed, I'm not even certain she was the original. Was there something before her? How did she get her idol on? I couldn't tell you. Evidently, we wrote little down in those early days, or were forbidden to, and our memories only stretch back so far. Anything beyond that simply isn't.
Psst. Isn't it strange to not know where you come from? For all you know, the idols could be aliens.
Aliens? Grace, you watch too many movies.
Gods are okay, but aliens are just wacky fiction.
Fine, yes. It is strange. No, our earliest days aren't the only blanks in our memories, however. We have many. And the last was the day Zeus called us all together to tell us Rome had fallen and we should prepare for war. But did that war occur? I couldn't tell you. The last thing I remember after Rome was 1,000 years later, in the 16th century. I was in a different body, feeling as if no time at all had passed. Athena calls that period the gap. And that's what it feels like. All of us experienced it.
Interesting.
And not one of us knows why or how.
Is Zeus gone?
The gap you mentioned. What was that like? Did you just wake up one day, or...
I wasn't asleep. I lived. I had lives. I passed on my eidolon. I may have known who I was and what I was, but perhaps I was completely unaware. All I know is that one day, Athena came to my nunnery, near Trieste, I think. The moment that I saw her, all the old memories came flooding back. My life during the gap was wiped away in an instant, and it never returned. If someone did that to us, they were powerful indeed.
What about Athena? I mean, she's the one who found you, right? She must have been aware.
Athena woke up on her own, or so she claims, and spent the next century rounding up those idols who remained. Zeus, however, was gone. What became of him, what happened in Rome, we've never pieced it together. It's troubling.
Tell me more about the
Poseidon's also
war.
gone?
It seems to have had a huge effect on all of you.
That's putting it mildly.
From Aphrodite's song, I know Ares betrayed everyone. What did you do?
Indeed, Dan.
Honestly, after my mother was murdered, I barely remember.
Your mother?
Her name was Demeter. Not truly my mother, but an idol who had always cared for me since the early days. I thought we'd be together forever. Then Ares brought those filthy bastards down on us. Demeter was slain by bullets. Until that day, I had believed we were untouchable.
Why would Ares do that?
Did he get anything out of it in the end, or...?
What he got was a final death. A few of us hunted him down and made sure he paid for his betrayal. He choked on his own blood.
Good.
As for why he did it, who knows? He thought us a lost cause. He wanted glory. He wanted more than we had, living in secret. After that, I don't know. We went from hiding place to hiding place. I didn't even know what Hephaestus had done for us when I found myself on a boat. We might have been gods once, but after the war, we were just refugees, like so many others, fleeing to a distant land.
Was it hard for the idols to come to the new world? It's just a place like any other, isn't it?
Well, it wasn't the place that was hard, it was the fear. We knew we were vulnerable. We knew mortals could and would kill us. Suddenly, there were rules. We had to be secret. We had to stay close together. We huddled in the shadows and quaked each time the mortals so much as breathed in our direction.
Fear builds
we couldn't all live that way. Some of us drifted away, faded into the night without so much as an explanation. That's what's been the hard part. Our inevitable decline in a place where we don't belong. We can pass on our eidolons as often as we like, but it will never truly be home.
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around?
Oh yes, that's where I'll be. Around.
Okie dokes, Grace's apartment. Should be the end of Act 2.
Oh, hi, Grace. I can just call you Grace, right?
That's my name. Where's Freddie?
She went out to get snacks. We were gonna watch TV while we waited, but, well, here you are.
What, you and Freddie are friends now? When did this happen?
When I came looking for you. Freddie has this movie that I've never seen. It's super cool, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, would you rather not share your mortal friends? Anyway, I guess Athena wants to talk? I can zip us over to Olympus anytime, if you're free.
So this is what you do? Ferry people around?
I'm the god of messengers, baby. Travelers, doorways, any kind of transition, really. The old Hermes said that the transition part made even more sense for me, which, extra cool, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I can connect any two doorways anywhere, just like that. So it's super easy to take people wherever. I don't mind.
You mentioned the old Hermes a lot. You knew him?
Yeah, I was homeless for a while. It wasn't a great time, and he took me in. Everyone's on the same journey, he used to say. Only the roads are different. And then he went on his journey. Man, I still miss him every day.
Wait, isn't he still inside you? Aren't you kind of the same person now?
Not yet. It's only been a year. Maybe I'll feel him again one day. That'd be nice.
You say it's easy, but do you like doing all these errands?
Huh. Yeah, I never thought about it. It's nice to have a purpose. Athena is super sweet, and she has a big, important job. Why wouldn't I want to help her out?
You can't be this nice. Are you for real?
Oh, well, the old Hermes used to say that a willingness to serve is more important than a willingness to be served.
Do I have a choice about seeing Athena? I'm not in the habit of being at anyone's beck and call.
I mean, I guess you could say no, but I wouldn't. If Athena wants something, she's gonna get it eventually. She had that look in her eyes, like she really wants to talk to you.
She could always come here. Everyone else does.
Athena entered the mortal world? And now she doesn't do that ever. Can you imagine?
How does Athena manage never entering the mortal world?
She doesn't have to, I guess. Everyone brings her everything she needs. And that creepy owl of hers, Apollo says it's her eyes out in the world. It's everywhere. Watching.
So what, she just never leaves the building?
She'll go to the reliquary and places like that. Just never where mortals are.
My theory
She
is
wears a
still in
toga
place.
and calls cars iron horses.
I suppose there's no point in putting it off. Do your thing. Take me to Olympus.
Okay. Oh, when you see Freddie, tell her I'm sorry I couldn't stick around for the movie. And mind if I say something?
Sure.
You've changed. I mean, from the person I met when I first came here. When, you know, you got it together really quick.
Thanks, I guess.
Learning you'll die in a week tends to motivate people. Choose my traits. Okay, we're still gonna stick with clever. Oh, but I can't. I get to pick a second trait? I can't pick clever again. It won't let me. Kick ass. I'm gonna go with charming then if I can't have clever.
There you are, Grace. Do have a seat.
Creepy owl. Don't want to
I
sit.
prefer to stand, thanks.
As you like. You've certainly been busy, haven't you? Everywhere I turn, there you are. Including the reliquary.
Oh.
I'm uncertain how you got access, but even you must have realized it's off limits. Particularly
where,
for
though?
your
Doesn't
mortal
make sense.
friend.
But you know what happened there. That's where Calliope was attacked.
Yet it's not where she died, Grace, is it?
So because she made it all the way to my apartment, we shouldn't care why she was bleeding to death along the way.
You think our judgment was rash? It was. In truth, I worried that giving you time, letting us all get to know you, would make it harder in the end. I am sorry, Grace. You may not believe it, but I care deeply. I care about what happens to you and to all the idols.
Do you really? Let's explore where all that caring has gotten them, shall we? You're holding on with a grip so tight, your knuckles are turning white. But that's not enough, is it? Every idol I've met is either lost or broken, or both. They're all slipping through your fingers.
Slipping through my fingers.
If you actually cared about them, you'd do something about it instead of sitting up here worrying about your precious rules.
Zeus was the first to leave. King of the gods. And we don't even know what became of him. Vanished into the ether. Poseidon was next. Walked out into the seas, never to be heard from again. Ares betrayed us. Hephaestus saved us. Hades was murdered. And by one of our own. The list goes on.
So you add to it. I show up and you kill me off because you can't be too careful.
We are dying, Grace. I don't mean diminishing or drifting apart. I mean our immortality is disappearing. Very soon now, the idols will be no more. We are a legacy that spans millennia, dating back to the very dawn of humankind. So yes, I care. I will do anything and everything in my power to avoid that fate, even if it appears unfair.
You know, it's too bad. I've been an idol for 5 minutes, and I've been out there solving problems you've all wrestled with for how long now? I could have helped you, Athena. I could have helped all of you. But you don't see that, do you? You're so busy holding on to what you have. You can't see what you're throwing away.
I know we've put a great deal on your shoulders, Grace. I do. All I called you here to ask is that you please not make my job more difficult than it already is. If you have any other questions or concerns, now's the time to bring them up.
Who has access to the reliquary? Is it anyone with a key, or...
Doesn't matter. You gained access, so clearly it is not difficult to get. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'll tell me who gave you that key.
I'd rather not say.
Well, you're loyal, at least. I had to ask.
Speaking of the reliquary, you went there, right? Once Hecate told you what happened?
Yeah, I was not impressed by the delay.
If you had known about that, the night Calliope died, would it have made a difference?
The chances are exceedingly small that you attacked her there, it's true. Yet, Calliope was weakened, which made her more vulnerable prey for an enterprising mortal. One she knew.
Barely.
Perhaps
We
the
talked for
incidents
like
are
10
connected,
minutes.
perhaps not. I cannot afford the risk of uncertainty, Grace. I'm sorry.
All right, let's talk about Medusa.
Met her, have you?
Is it true you can't remove her curse? Or is she just too useful?
I wish I could remove the curse. I'm afraid the Athena who bestowed it is long gone. She was prideful, that Athena. As prideful as she was powerful, I'm ashamed to say.
The current Athena is responsible for everything she's done.
I am well aware, Grace. What is it that you would have me do, exactly?
How about you stop treating her like a servant? Maybe send her somewhere she won't be tempted all the time.
Oh, well, if you happen to hear of a diet camp for man-eating monsters, by all means, do let me know. Now, if there isn't anything else?
What do you know of Pan?
Pan? That's not a name I expected to hear. Been sniffing around you, has he?
I have some suspicions, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Pan lurks at the edges because he likes it there, seeking out whatever profit he thinks he can get away with. Avoid him, dear, or he'll stick to you like gum to the bottom of your shoe.
Okay, so you don't like Pan much. I get that. But do you think he could kill someone?
We've all killed, my dear. I was once a warrior queen, feared by mortals and gods alike.
Another idol, I mean.
Is that where your investigation has led you? To Pan?
Sort of, but I feel like I'm missing something important. Maybe the goddess of wisdom could help me out?
It would be helpful to know what Calliope was doing at the reliquary, but she's not available to ask. Not until you regain her memories, at least.
Why not put off the trial until then? Seems like a good way to solve all this. Yeah?
And trust what you decide to share? I think not.
I guess I'll get back to my investigation.
I am rooting for you, Grace. If there's another way to resolve this, any way at all, I will take it.
Will you? Really?
Good luck. Feel free to take a cookie on your way out.
I really want a cookie. Can we take a cookie? Can we take a cookie this time, please?
Don't take it personally, Grace. Athena's first instinct is to follow the rules whenever things get rough. As if she believes that if the idols don't blindly follow every rule to the letter, we'll dissolve into utter chaos.
Well, is she right?
Probably.
Reminds you of the oracles in the Matrix, yes. There is no spoon.
Do you think she's telling the truth about the idols dying out?
I'm not sure. I mean, if it is true, why hasn't she told the rest of the chorus?
It sounds like she doesn't trust you.
Well, the feeling is mutual. At any rate, I'm afraid we're going to have to disappoint her again.
Uh-oh, what now?
You need to go back to the reliquary, Grace.
Today?
You know, Athena said something to me. That it'd be nice to know what Calliope was doing there in the first place.
And she's correct.
It's the only piece of the puzzle we're missing. Calliope went there because she had a plan. But what plan?
If she left clues behind, wouldn't Hecate have found them already?
That's a really good question.
We can't ask Calliope what her plan was. But you might be able to remember what she was doing there.
Her memories? But I thought...
That it will take years, yes. But if you go somewhere important to Calliope, or touch something special to her, you'll get flashes, feelings.
Do you want Grace to go to the reliquary so she can have deja vu?
I'm willing to wager the place Calliope met her fate has left its mark in Grace's psyche. We have only to uncover it.
Last time Freddy and I were there, Hecate wouldn't let us into the reliquary. Not without Athena's permission.
I'm certainly not suggesting we ask Athena for permission.
Then you mean...
A week ago, I would have said breaking into the reliquary was impossible. Yet it appears Hecate can be surprised. If her book says she will be.
Let's hope the book says that again, I guess.
Unless you've some other plan. I'm all ears, as they say.
What about the alarms? I'm not eager to have Asterion chasing me through the fog.
Calliope snuck in without setting off any alarms. At least at first.
Well, I'll be following in Calliope's footsteps, won't I? What if I follow the wrong footstep and set them off?
Then they discover you and we apologize profusely.
Will not be a good look, though, just saying.
Are you sure about this? You want me to wander around hoping something comes to me?
I do know something about how memories work after the transition, but no, I'm not certain. You want certainty? Wait until your trial. Without discovering more, the outcome of that is certain.
What if Medusa is lying? What about Pan? We could look into him some more, couldn't we?
Oh, my, you're just full of ideas, aren't you? Do you have any suggestions regarding how we might go about doing that?
Deja vu it is.
Let's say I do this. What am I hoping to find?
Some memory of who attacked Calliope, or why she was there. Anything we could work with. I've spoken to almost all the idols, and every single one says they hadn't seen or heard from her. If she was keeping to herself, then why now? What started this? We're missing something important, Grace.
What if Grace goes there and the memory she sees is that she attacked Calliope? A Grace from the future. It'd be a twist.
Is there really no other way? This seems a bit desperate.
That's because we are desperate, Grace. Either we take this shot at learning the truth, or we overthrow Athena and the chorus by force, and disregard this stupid trial.
She's joking, right? She's joking, right?
Right then. Back to the reliquary it is.
Are we reliquarying
Any idea
today?
how you want to do this, Grace? Because I'm game to help.
Cool.
Stretch.
I'm sure we can figure something out.
I can't go in with you. Hecate would sense me right away. I will, however, stay close by. Now that doesn't mean you should take stupid risks. Don't be a fool, Grace.
I can take care of myself, in case you hadn't noticed.
Come on, the time for adventure is now.
Oh, this will not end well. I know it.
I kind of want to end here, but it won't let me bring up the menu. It's one of those things I thought Act 2 would be the same length as Act 1. Freddy distracts Hecate, be honest with Hecate, sneaking. Let's just be honest with Hecate. I'm sneaking. We snuck to Medusa's, but I kind of think maybe I should have gone in through the front door. Excuse me, got the hiccups.
So that is now. Oh, you were expecting us?
It is written that you would come, yes.
That is so cool. I kid you not.
Yet it was also written that you would sneak into the reliquary as Calliope did, so this encounter is unanticipated.
Ooh.
I figured talking face to face would be more civilized and, you know, less dangerous.
I appreciate your motivation, though surely you cannot think mere etiquette will change my answer.
The only reason you won't let me in is because Athena forbids it, right?
She is the one to whom I made my promise, yes.
What if I said that she's a suspect in Calliope's death?
Is she a suspect?
She's an idol. I don't know that she's not a suspect. Yet. Without more evidence, isn't her command potentially self-serving?
I like my logic.
You will regret this. That is also written.
That is a yes.
Go quickly. Look, but do not touch. The reliquary stores many artifacts, some dangerous.
Got it.
This is reminding me of the Librarians TV series, which is very good. Wow. So many books!
Okay, Grace. What the heck do you do now?
This is still the same act, because I could do it.
Of all the times to not have...
Okay, we can pause now. I really gotta go to the bathroom, and then I'll come back and finish this, but... So I won't even run an ad, I'll be real quick. Probably should have paused the recording, but never mind.
Freddy around. She'd love this.
It's like, if it's gonna
First
continue
things
much
first,
longer, I need
How
to
do I
pee.
do this? Where do I even start?
I'm glad we asked.
Calliope must have been here. She could have stood in this very spot.
Is there
Maybe
any
if I
blood?
just... focus.
Or weapons. Behind you. No, there's a spear.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I've definitely been here
Is there
before.
blood on that thing? Trident. Okay, so we've got an egg. An egg? Jeez. Eggs are always fun. Instrument. Trident. Branch. Nick.
Shouldn't that be in a museum somewhere?
We'll look at the neg last.
I don't even know what language that is.
Looks like Icarus's wings. It's an olive branch.
They should really charge for tours. It's kind of amazing.
Piece of Eden.
Freddy, are you out there? Can you hear me? What am I doing? All that'll do is tell everyone where I am. This is it.
Oh.
Calliope was here. She was standing right here.
Sorry, we didn't look at the neg.
She...
went in. Put something in there.
Uh-oh. Hello? Do you work for Hecate? Are you guardians or something?
Sorry about the neg, Dan. They look like supermodels or mannequins.
Oh, okay then.
They have a sharp thing.
What's happening? Why didn't it work?
Maybe that's how she got stabbed. In the mirror, then?
Oh! Grace?
Oh. Hey, Phoenix.
Freddy! We've got to run! My powers don't work on them, they just keep coming!
Is there anything even there?
No, I won't let you!
Freddie, no!
Freddy!
No! If we hadn't looked at the apple, would we have still called Freddy?
Oh god. Oh god, Freddy!
By the gods.
You summoned the Furies.
Those are the Furies?
What?
Those beings were the Furies, beyond all our laws. Not idols, but the embodiment of retribution. How did you draw them here?
I didn't!
there was a big mirror, but I didn't even touch it.
There is only one mirror of which you could be speaking. That used by the goddess Nyx to contact the Fates. Using the mirror would not have brought the Furies down upon you. Not unless the Fates themselves decreed it.
Okie dokes. Phoenix, what have you missed? Have you seen any of this game? Long story short, the one with the blood on her hands is Grace. She became a muse, accidentally on purpose, because the previous muse, Calliope, died, and she got accused of killing her, and she's been trying to clear her name by getting evidence, and her best friend just got stabbed. But yeah, gods are real. I'm gonna go with you to help
I don't care
her.
what brought them. They killed Freddy. You need to help her.
I have no power over life and death, Grace. None of us have that. This was
you were
no
here the last
defense or
we were in
spell of
office.
the reliquaries. I do not have the power to summon the Furies, and I know none who do. You should consider yourself fortunate, Grace. They do not desist until retribution has been exacted.
There have been multiple officers.
But now
was
is
it
when you
Athena's
leave.
or Persephone's?
Pray the knowledge you obtained was worth the price.
We've talked to a lot of people, and then we decided we were gonna potentially break into the reliquary. I decided we were just gonna go and ask Hecate. She let us in. We touched a mirror, but we didn't touch a mirror, and then our friend got stabbed. Yeah. She just got the soul part of the god, yeah. But she's not got the memories yet. I'm not leaving Freddy.
I'm not leaving Freddy. Not like this.
At this point, we're very human.
All this magic. There has to be something. Don't tell me there's no way to undo this.
Come. There's nothing more to be done.
Why would Freddy do that? Day 6, where should I go now? I mean, we just got our apartment. Aha, there we go. Across the sticks. Finished Act 2. Ooh, we're gonna go to the sticks. Right. We're gonna go back to the main menu. I wanted to finish Act 2. That was slightly longer than I expected. So we've got Act 3 for the next time. We've got 8 of the achievements. We listened to more songs. We honoured Aphrodite of decision. We thought Medusa was a victim too, and we sort of fixed the Minotaur. Yeah, this was a very sad act, I have to say. You know, the emotions. I don't have any tears left in me today. It's been one of those days, but certainly, you know, oh my god, Freddy, I'm so sorry. If we just looked at the mirror at the beginning, would Freddy have been there? Because we sort of yelled when we picked up the apple. I just did the thing where I look at everything. And now I feel shit. But yeah. We've got one more stream on this for Act 3. We'll probably do it fairly soon, before Extra Life, before the end of the month. Seeing how we feel. So, depending on how I feel, there might be an afternoon stream tomorrow, like 3 p.m-ish. I want to do some more exploring in the Holy Gosh Darn. Then Saturday is actually going to be a co-stream. Just had to move things around, and our other co-stream days didn't work, so we're trying a Saturday slot with a shared chat, see how that works. And then Sunday I'll be doing some promos. I don't know which. Sort of, you know, trying not to overdo it before Extra Life, I'll be honest, because we've got... where are we? Well, Extra Life is in, whatever, was it 15 days? We've got the weekend, a full week, and then part of a week before we go into Extra Life. I am thinking, because Thursday, Halloween, before Extra Life, we do some of the Quarry. Because I still need to finish that off. And we were doing it on stream, so, you know. I think there's 2 streams of it left, so we might do something more on a different day as well. But for now, I will sign off. There's not true people, but I figure Thrace is doing some stuff in a Zelda, so we'll just go and say hi if they're not leaving too soon, but I have to get to bed. So feel free to copy a raid message. And I will see you anon. I've been Joe, otherwise known as Angel SK. I'm very glad that I'm getting my hair cut on Sunday because it's gotten a bit long. I could put it up in a ponytail earlier, but anyway, I bid you good night.